Welcome to the Undisputed podcast. I'm your host, Jenny Taft. This podcast is the full show from today's episode of Undisputed from start to finish. We've got a busy slate, so skip Shannon. Let's get to it.
Welcome to Undisputed. We're live from Los Angeles. I'm Jenny Taft here with Skip Bayless, Shannon Sharpe.
What's so funny? You always laugh. Were you laughing at the Lakers last night? Were you laughing at your man LeBron? I'm just curious. I don't know.
I don't either.
Was that funny?
What a spoiler moment.
Huh?
I'm excited.
Well, what
I'm
moment?
Excited
Oh,
to come,
good.
I'm
Okay.
excited to
I
come
like
work with
your
you.
jacket.
You like that again? Yeah.
I do too.
You got a lot of new stuff. You must be
know,
you must be shelling out the cash
Yeah,
for this stuff.
You know, I went to Harvard Business School.
Yeah. You'd like to think that you did.
I did.
You know?
Hey, Jenny, how are you?
Hi, I'm
Hi, Shannon. How are you? How are you?
You a
Jenny?
hater.
too, Skip.
Do you wake up like this every morning?
Yes,
Yeah.
I do. Let's
think he
talk about the
does.
Cowboys.
Okay, we're going to get there.
Cowboys.
Your day coming, Skip.
Yeah.
Your day coming.
Not
I
yet.
think their day is coming
Not
after
yet.
this.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
On Friday.
Yep.
All right, here's what we're talking about today. Will Shannon make some excuses for LeBron's rough night? Will Skip Sooners make the college football playoff? But then we got to start with the Cowboys because that's how Skip likes to start the day. They have a huge matchup tomorrow night against the Saints on Fox. Dallas has won 3 straight, but they're facing a Saints team that has won 10 straight games. Drew Brees and the New Orleans offense leads the league in scoring at about 37 points a game, and yesterday, Cowboys defensive end DeMarcus Lawrence was asked if the Saints O-line would be the toughest they've faced, and guys, he did not hold back. Lawrence said, "They're going to have to match our intensity, bleep for 60 minutes straight. If you hit a bleep in the mouth and then they ain't doing what they're regularly doing, putting up 50 points, they start to get a little distressed. Now you got them where you want them, and then you bleeping choke their bleep out." All right.
Jenny, you read that very nicely,
you.
but it was not said very nicely.
Thank you. I said it, but, bleep.
Yeah, I know.
Bleep. Okay.
Yeah, bleep.
Let's hear what Jerry Jones had to
Bleep
say.
and bleep.
Each play, every time they have the ball, we've got to think it's the Super Bowl play. It is the play. We're just going to have to play in that way, both on our defensive front and as well as when we play offensively. Big games like this are down to the individual play. And if every player will, on every play in this game, say, when we put that on tape Monday, it's going to look like one of my best plays of the year. It's really going to take that kind of focus to beat a team like this.
Shannon, do you like that talk from the Cowboys?
Well, I don't like to talk from Jerry. I tend to like the guys that are a little closer to the action to do the talking. I love when Brian Billick would get the opposing team riled up, and he was talking, knowing that we're going to have to go out there and back up what he said, but we're going to do our talking also. Skip, I don't get this. Why would Jerry add this kind of undue pressure or angst to his team? So you want them to approach this like the Super Bowl. You do know Super Bowl has finality to it. So let me get this straight. If you win this game, what do you win?
It's over. The season's over. We win the championship.
Oh, that's what it is?
Yeah, that's how I'm.
only.
Okay, if you want that kind of finality, what happens if you lose this game?
I don't know.
Have you thought
Well,
that
what
part?
if you win it and then lose out? I don't know.
Exactly.
Yep.
So for me, Skip, I just like, look, I just want my guys to play well. I understand what this game means. But to say, okay, because you have 4 more games after this, you win this game, and as you said, you lose 2 or 3 or 3 or 4 of the next games. What have you actually accomplished? You don't get any more credit for winning this game because it's the New Orleans Saints. You don't say, you know what? You beat a team that had won 10 straight games. So Cowboys, we're going to give you 2 victories. That's not how it works. You don't get extra points if you score a touchdown in this game. This is a regular season game that's going to be played in November. You still have games to be played in December and January.
Yep.
I don't get why Jerry would put so much emphasis. Now, all of a sudden, you win 3 straight games, Jenny, and Jerry Jones talking about this Super Bowl. I want you to approach this game like this is a Super Bowl. You won 3 games, Jerry, none of which are playoff games, none of which got you any closer to getting to the playoffs. Come on, Jerry. Now, DeMarcus Lawrence, if I ain't got no problem with what he's saying.
Really?
Because you know why? Because whether you say a little or you say a lot. I learned this early in my career. Even when I talked, they were still going to kick the ball off. When I didn't talk, they still were going to kick the ball off.
I hear you.
So DeMarcus Lawrence, he's going to have to put up because, you say when you hit a bleep in the mouth and you ain't scoring 51 like you normally do. Okay, let me ask you a question, DeMarcus. When they hit you in the mouth and they drop 21 on you in the first quarter, then what you going to do?
Don't know.
See, you already talk about what you going to do as high as, you hit the bully in the mouth, but what happens when the bully hits you? Look, I understand the Cowboys they're building this drama. The Cowboys are back. You love this. The Cowboys are back. I love this, Jerry. If my defensive line is talking, DeMarcus Lawrence and that defensive line is going to play a huge role in this ball game. The only way to beat the Saints is that you put Drew Brees on his back.
They're going to play the role in the game.
First of all, you talk about the greatest completion percentage quarterback in NFL history. If you don't put him on his back, 70% of the throws will be complete. So I got no problem with DeMarcus Lawrence talking trash. Talk it. Talk that talk. You got to walk that walk. Now, Jerry, I don't really care about what Jerry had to say. So what's the next step? Owners going back and forth. You talking? I get it. Sometimes giving the Super Bowl, the governors talk. Well, if I win, I want some syrup. If you win, you get some steaks. I don't want owners going back and forth with this. Hey, y'all just cut the checks. Let us handle this down here.
Thank you. So it's my turn, and I had a huge problem with both of these quotes from both of these principals of the Dallas Cowboys, the best pass rusher and the owner general manager. Huge problems.
Every day.
I do, but I don't play for the Dallas Cowboys, and I'm not playing Drew Brees. I'm going to watch him play, unfortunately, tomorrow night on Fox. But I got to tell you, Mr. Sharpe and Miss Taft, I left here yesterday feeling pretty good about my team's chances in this game. Pretty good. Maybe I had pumped myself up to the point where I would be surprised by a Cowboy victory, but I wouldn't be shocked by it. And I was 3 days ago, more like, I'd be shocked if they won this game. So I was starting to feel better. I thought there was at least a reasonable chance of Dallas winning until I got home, and later in the afternoon, I had to read the quotes from both of these principals. Let me start with DeMarcus Lawrence. Okay, remember, DeMarcus Lawrence is not the dominating pass rusher in the game right now. He had a great year last year, but so far he ranks 13th in this league in sacks with 8.5. Not bad, not great. They rank as a team 12th in sacks. So it's not like they're Saxonville of last year, right?
Right.
So when I read these quotes, I fell off my chair because I wanted this man drug tested at that moment, because you went completely over the edge. If he had just said the first line that I read, I'd be okay. They're going to have to match our intensity. Okay, that's fine. I can deal with that. If you just said we need to make Drew uncomfortable in the pocket, I'd be just fine with that and leave it lay at that. But after that, this is completely over the edge. And I'm surprised you were okay with this, even though you were the greatest trash talker in history. But you played for some really good teams. Yeah. And my team right now is lucky to be 6-5, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to have to go through this quote carefully, and I'm going to have to tiptoe through these lines.
You have to do some bleeping,
I'm going to have to do some bleeping, but I'm going to do some in the middles here. So he says, if you hit an MF in the mouth, and they ain't doing what they're regularly doing, which is putting up 50 points, they start to get a little distressed. Now you got them where you want them, and then you effing choke their ass out. That's what DeMarcus Lawrence said to the reporters yesterday. Yes. You effing choke their out.
Skip, this is the conversation that when you're talking to other D linemen.
Okay, maybe you do that. That's fine. He said this publicly to the media.
Yes.
Okay, to me, that quote is worse than guaranteeing victory in this game, because you have challenged their manhood. You have said, to me, New Orleans has the best offensive line in football. Used to be Dallas. Yeah. Now it's New Orleans. They protect Drew like he's the gem of the world, like the most valuable piece in the world.
Like the gold in Fort Knox.
Okay, he's the gold in Fort Knox, right? He's the Hope Diamond. He's their Hope Diamond.
Yep.
And they protect him with their manhood.
Yes.
Now their manhood has been challenged by DeMarcus Lawrence, and he's a really good player, but I always call him DeMarcus Lawrence Taylor. He's not yet Lawrence Taylor. I do it half-kiddingly because I want him to be DeMarcus Lawrence Taylor. And occasionally, like that early sack against Marcus Mariota, he looked like DeMarcus Lawrence Taylor.
Right.
And then what happened the rest of the game, I wish I could forget about it, but I cannot. So to me, this is, you know the old quote about let sleeping dogs lie?
Right.
Let sleeping Breeze lie. Let sleeping Kamara lie. Let sleeping Michael Thomas lie. Let sleeping offensive line lie, because New Orleans has won 10 straight games, right? And, they're, They're just blowing people away to the point where, is it possible that they would have come in a little overconfident? Maybe just a little bit? Is it possible that they would have one off night? Because you're just human. Yeah. After you blew out Washington and you blew out Philadelphia, you say, we got the NFC East. No, but I'm just saying the NFC East. We got another NFC East team.
Right.
And I look at Drew Brees, and remember, he's 5-2 against Dallas as a Saint. He was obviously in San Diego, but he's 3-1 at Dallas. So maybe he comes in a little cocky, a little overconfident. I don't know.
And this team, Skip, now you know how Sean Payton is. Remember on 4th down, he threw it against Malcolm Jenkins and the Eagles to run it up.
Okay.
Now you know he's listening to everything that was said.
Okay. So they're turning the NFL into the Big 12. They're just Big 12ing people every week. They've won their last 5 games by an average of 22 points a game. Well, why wouldn't you just leave that be? Just let it go. Which brings me to my owner, Jerry Jones. He just can't help himself because the first things he said about what a great opportunity this game is, that's fine. It's a measuring stick.
Absolutely,
right?
yeah.
What an opportunity, he called it at midseason. We're actually getting later in the season.
Yeah.
A chance to challenge yourself and just see what you're made of.
Right.
That's all great.
Right.
But when you go to Super Bowl, then everybody is going to leap on the words super and bowl.
Correct.
Because he basically said we have to play this like it's our Super Bowl. You do? Well, the first thing you invite ridicule because you haven't been to even an NFC championship game in 23 years, let alone a Super Bowl in 23 years.
Right.
So that humiliates me that he would even go there. But why would you heap that kind of pressure on a team that, again, is lucky to be 6-5 and lucky to be, I thought it would be higher, you thought it would be higher, lucky to be just a 7.5-point favorite. Leave it be. Just let it sit. But again, look, I try to do, now I'm trying to talk myself into the positive of this, and to your point, once upon a time, this happened in Cowboy lore, and I'm obviously a student of Cowboy history, but you may or may not remember this, but ahead of the 1993 season NFC Championship game, it's the actually second Super Bowl that they ended up winning under Jerry and Jimmy Johnson.
Correct.
Jimmy Johnson opted ahead of a game in which Steve Young and the 49ers were coming to Dallas for the NFC Championship game. He opted to call a radio show in Dallas on Thursday night and asked to be put on the air so he could guarantee a victory over Steve Young and the 49ers. And he said, and I quote, "You can put it in 3-inch headlines," which the Dallas Morning News then did the next day. They put it on the front page of the paper, not on the sports section. On the front page, they put the story about Jimmy guarantees a victory. Okay, what did the leader of the offensive line, Nate Newton, say after they won that game handily? They had 28-7 at half, and they won 38-21. What did he say? He wrote a check we had to cash.
Correct.
Okay, the difference was that team was the defending Super Bowl champ, and it was a 3-point favorite at home over Steve Young's 49ers, who were really good.
Right.
But so was Dallas.
Yes.
So, again, Jimmy just thought they need a little extra motivation here because he was worried about their mindset, that they were going to be a little complacent or not take them a little too lightly.
Yes.
Because they didn't, as a team, because I was so close to it, they didn't at that point have that much respect for Steve Young because they thought he would throw it to them a couple of times usually and they would be able to figure it out because they viewed him more as a guy who would take off and run.
Right.
Okay? So, again, they were proven right that they were the better team really by far.
Right.
And yet, Jimmy put good pressure on them, and I'm not sure Jerry, who's trying to sort of take a page out of Jimmy's book, is putting good pressure on this team. This team isn't. It's not better than New Orleans, right?
But Jimmy didn't say, "I want these guys to treat this like the Super Bowl last year we won."
No.
He was basically...
No, well, that'd be the flip side of it. He just said, "I guarantee we're going to win this game."
And he just had left the Super Bowl 8-9 months earlier.
Okay.
So they know what it was like. You only have a few guys, Skip, that have Super Bowl experience. It's not like this roster is littered with guys. Forget Super Bowl experience, championship game experience. That's not what they have on this roster. Look, for me, Skip, and DeMarcus Lawrence, I'm a firm believer that when you're going into a ball game and you're the underdog, I'm going to talk because I don't want you to think that I snuck up on you.
Yeah, okay.
See, I'm yelling and screaming. I want you to know I'm coming.
Okay, do you think you ever wrote a check that your team had to cash?
Oh, yeah, we did a lot of that. I put that pressure on them, Skip. And a lot of times the linemen didn't like it. because it's like Shannon doing all this talking, and he doesn't have to block Cortez Kennedy, or he doesn't have to block these Johnny Randalls. Oh, well, hey, get your gate.
Okay, you went at it before the, which game was it, with Ray?
The Tennessee Titans game.
The Titans game, right?
Yeah.
You went back and forth, right?
Yeah.
Okay, and did it help? Did it hurt? Did it?
Oh, Skip, we had just gone in there. We were the first team to beat them at home in their building.
No, I'm thinking of the other Super Bowl. Which one was it? Ray Buchanan.
Oh, Ray Buchanan.
Yeah, right.
I mean,
right.
look, when we played in Super Bowl 32,
Yeah.
Mike, this is the only time Mike Shanahan had ever told me not to talk. He said, Shannon, we're going to kick there, you know what.
Yeah.
He says, but all I ask you to do is just give them credit,
Okay.
compliment them, and at the end of the day, we'll have our fun.
Yeah, it was your last.
No, the Super Bowl 32. That was the first one against Green Bay.
Okay, against Green Bay. I got it.
Against Atlanta,
Okay.
we're getting ready to go out, and Mike normally gives us this fire and brimstone speech. You know what he said? He said, guys, if you don't beat this team by 50 points, you should be embarrassed.
Serious?
Go out there and kick their butt.
Okay. Well, that wasn't made public, obviously.
Yeah,
but
I'm like, so.
first I've heard of that.
But see, but I love the approach that we had in Baltimore. Brian says, I don't care what you say, guys. He said, just remember now, we got to play this game. So whatever you say, be ready to go back it up. Oh, man. I said, hold it. You mean to tell me I can say whatever I want? I can say this, this, and this. And I know I had a defense. If I had that defense, ooh, random boys, I get them riled up. I said, I tell you what, yeah, we terrible on offense. But your offense can't score on our defense. Oh, man, Ray, hey, sure, we got it. He's like, Shay, we got him. Mm-hmm. Hey, I ain't got no problem with DeMarcus Lawrence because he's going to need to hit the line with Skip. They're going to get him 11 sacks.
But you're putting pressure on arguably the greatest defense in pro football history.
Yeah.
Right?
And they
so I think they're going to be okay.
They wanted it because guess what? And every time, just like clockwork, somebody from the offensive line talking about, yeah, they good, but they not that good. I thought, ooh, got him. I got him. That's all I want to do, Skip.
Okay. Well, does DeMarcus got him? I don't think he's got him. I just don't think so.
But Skip,
He's not speaking from a position of strength, right?
Well, he believes that the position of strength of the Cowboys is their defense. And they're going to have the biggest say in the outcome of this game because their front four is going to have to do something that very few front fours have had success doing. That's putting Drew Brees on the ground.
Okay.
Now, Drew Brees has only been sacked 10 times. They've given up 11 total sacks in 11 games. Well, I tell you what, if you don't put Drew Brees on the ground 4, 5, 6 times, you're not beating them. You're not beating them.
Why do you think my Dallas Cowboys are third in points allowed on defense, but they're 29th in third downs allowed, third down conversions allowed? Why is that? Because they're not getting to the passer on third down. Am I right?
Right.
29th, and
Right.
Marcus Mariota went in there and went 11 of 14 on third down?
Well, I tell you what.
Why is that? Not enough pass rush.
Well, this is the guy that you better get off the field on third down because he's not going to get a bunch of yards and leave points on the field. Oh, he's going to get touchdowns. Oh, they're going to put the ball in the end zone.
They will, and they'll get it on fourth down, too.
Yeah.
I'm actually more worried about first and second down right now, but that's just me.
And you know he'll steal a possession.
Yeah.
He's looking for a way to catch a napping Skip, and they'll direct snap the ball to number 7, the backup, the third string quarterback. They'll onside kick you. They'll fake field goal you. They'll do something. They're going to steal an extra possession.
Yep.
So don't go to sleep. Because he'll go for it, fourth down like
Do I
nothing.
need to bring it up again that in 2013, Drew Brees set the all-time record in a game for first downs with 40 against the
40
Dallas
on
Cowboys?
y'all.
40 first downs? If
Oh,
you-
no, Skip. No, I don't. You're not finna sing me no lullaby. You're not finna do no soliloquy, no concession speech. I told you, I want you to have that same energy that you came in here last week after you beat Colt McCoy. Now, all of a sudden,
I had it until I went home yesterday after the show.
No. Oh, no.
Well, what can I do with this?
You can do it.
I can't stop this.
That's what you been
Is
talking.
this out of my control?
No.
Yes.
You was talking bold last week when you beat I hate Washington. They're our rivals. We beat them. I told you I want you to have that same energy.
I'm going to have it against Philadelphia.
No.
I will.
You don't play
I
Philadelphia.
will. We play Philadelphia next.
Hold on.
This game's over.
No. Oh, so you gonna look past this team?
Yeah.
Oh no, I'm not gonna let you do that,
Yeah.
Skip Bayless.
Our Super Bowl is Philadelphia, I think.
No, Skip, don't do that. So, you hear that, Drew? You hear that, Saints? They're looking past you. They say y'all nothing.
No,
they say
we've conceded, Drew.
No. You said the Super Bowl is the Eagles.
Drew Brees, you're the greatest quarterback in NFL history.
Oh,
you're having the greatest season ever. You have the greatest offense ever. I give up. I concede. I back off.
A team that hung 48 on the Eagles.
What would they do to this?
The Cowboys are looking past y'all. Say we worried about the Eagles. We're not worried about y'all, Saints.
Huh?
That's what you just said.
What was it? 41 or something on Washington, something like that in the 40s. Wow. Okay?
A whole lot to a few.
Huh. Well,
They got something for
So
you.
you're really going to concede here?
I ain't gonna let him. Oh, Jenny.
I know.
I know, Skip. He just wants to undersell. See,
seriously, in all my years of covering sports, I can't remember a worse quote uttered at a worse time than this quote about that offensive line.
When is a good time?
We're going to choke you out?
Yeah, he's gonna choke him out.
Choke them out?
Yeah.
What?
So
You can't say
They
that.
gonna put that Khabib on
Choke
Conor
him out?
McGregor. You remember how Khabib did Conor McGregor?
Hey, that's about what it's going to look like at this rate.
No.
Huh?
What would you have DeMarcus? You don't want to say
How many
anything.
sacks do you think DeMarcus Lawrence will have? Seriously, if he had one, I'd be happy. Seriously, one? He's
Right.
been sacked 10 times.
Okay.
So what?
Well,
What's the over-under on his sacks? A half?
Well, they better get him at least 5.
Yeah.
Man.
When you're saying that.
5?
They better get
so
him-
get half of his total for the
No,
year?
no.
11 games?
I'm saying the team better get him 5 times.
Okay.
And
Well,
they better
that
knock
would
him
be
down.
half of his total for the year.
No. I'm saying as a team, they need to put Drew Brees on the ground 5 times.
As in sacks or knockdowns?
Sacks.
Okay. Well, again.
And you better knock him down a bunch of times. You better knock him down by 8, 10 times.
Okay, well, they will not.
Well, you can't.
No,
beat
I don't
him.
think anybody can do that.
Well, you can't beat him.
Okay, well, then it's done. I
Can't beat him.
concede. I
Skip,
give
you
up.
gotta beat him, Skip. You
Huh?
can't.
I
you
give
can't-
up.
You can't leave that man upright.
Huh? What would you say if you're a New Orleans offensive lineman? What would you say to this?
I'm gonna choke DeMarcus Lawrence.
That's correct. That is correct. We're just going to suffocate him.
Yeah.
You'd wake up loving that quote even more?
Ooh, Abaca.
You don't think this is going up on somebody's bulletin board in that locker
Right in their
room?
locker.
You know how Sean Payton
Yeah.
is, Skip. You know how he is. He run the score up on you. He got a college mentality. Oh,
Yeah,
you did all that?
he
talking?
does. He does.
Okay.
And nobody can front run like Sean Payton.
Oh, no, the Cowboys can, because they talking about Super Bowl after 3 wins.
But that's off the field. I'm talking about on the field with the play calling in your hands.
Yeah.
He will front run all over you.
He should.
We need Jerry to listen to you.
You love
Skip.
this, don't you?
I do.
Yeah.
I do.
Sure.
You
Thank
love it.
I'm going to be all in. You know what? I'm so hyped for this game, I might listen to the game with the sound on. I might listen to the game, because I want to hear it. I want to hear what Troy have to say.
One of those
I want to
days.
hear old Joe call it, Joe Buck call it great game.
Troy will go after those Cowboys.
No, he ain't nothing to go after that. That would be unnecessary.
Okay.
I just want to hear him heap praise on Drew.
Shannon, were you listening to the sound last night for that Laker game? Or did you keep it
Yeah.
on mute for that one?
Interesting. That's a good
I went outside, I walked the dogs, and
Did you?
dog, I tried everything.
Really?
Did you watch the game?
I watched that mess. Then I went to bed.
Well, let's talk about it.
How will Shannon defend his guy LeBron? Because last night it was ugly. We'll tell you next.
No mercy.
All right, let's get to the Lakers. They struggled last night. LA went to Denver and were handed their worst loss of the year by 32 points to the Nuggets. LeBron had a season-low 14 points, didn't make a shot in the second half, and the Lakers missed 30 three-pointers. The shooting problems were on LeBron's mind after the game. Let's hear it.
As poorly as we shot the ball in the first half, we still, held them to 58 points, down 8. We still couldn't make shots. So we stayed in it as much as we could to stop the dam from running over. But at one point, it just broke open for us. We couldn't make enough shots, and this team is very dangerous at home, obviously.
LeBron is arguably the best player ever, and when he comes to town, and the Lakers, their fans carry, but as long as their fans go home disappointed, that's all I care about. So the Warrior fans can come in here, the Celtic fans can come in here, the Laker fans come in here, but take that L on the way out.
That's my guy. That's my guy.
Taking the L on
That's
the way
my guy
out.
right there. I love him.
Oh,
I
Shannon.
root for the Nugs.
Are you really?
Yeah, that's my guy.
He's
He said, I don't
jumping
care
off the
what you
bandwagon.
do. Take that L with you.
Okay.
Take that L with you, Skip Bengals.
How did you really feel? What did you make of the performance from the Lakers last night?
Oh, that was a performance?
I was
If
trying
that was
to be.
Skip, if that was a Broadway play, it wouldn't survive opening night.
Really?
Yeah, that was pathetic.
They just close it?
That was terrible.
No,
that was
close.
awful.
I don't
yeah,
think that's ever happened,
Yeah,
but go ahead.
Well, if that was a performance, that was ridiculous, Skip. But I foretold of this. Remember, I told you, blowout. You're not gonna.
You
blowout.
did not say
Yes, I did.
blowout.
Blowout.
You said
Called
close to
it.
triple
You just
double.
said she wasn't going
I
to come.
said she was gonna get. No. I said 26-10 today. I was way off, but I called blowout. But that's neither here nor there, Skip.
You called blowout with almost a triple double?
Yeah, Skip.
I don't remember that.
I don't remember that either.
Because
I think somebody
the
revises history
No,
again.
the free throw shooting and turning the ball over. And LeBron said, They couldn't make a shot from outside, but guess what they kept doing, Skip? Shooting from outside. Because everybody wanted to be the guy that broke the ice and said, you know what? One of these things went in, and so we got all down. Now the floodgates are about to open. And they kept boinging them, and nothing kept going, and nothing went in. And then they couldn't get rebounds.
Use the right term. They kept LeBricking them.
No, that wasn't true.
Okay.
Everybody, you make it seem like...
LeBron was 0 for 4 from 3, right?
Hold on. There are a lot. Hold on. Kyle Kuzma was 1 for 7.
Yeah.
Lonzo Ball was 1 for 4. Caldwell Pope was 1 for 5. You make it seem like LeBron James was the only one throwing up bricks. There was a lot of other cinder blocks being thrown up also, Skip Bayless.
I'll give you that.
Why are you talking? It's my turn to talk. Jenny didn't ask you anything anyway. This was terrible. LeBron played great in the first quarter, 10 points. And then he had 4 points the rest of the way. That's not nearly good enough. Not nearly good enough.
Well, how do you explain it?
Nothing needs to be explained. He didn't play well. He had a bad night. It happens to some greats. Everybody, but see, you know, Skip, LeBron is clearly the best player on the team. I believe he's the best player in the NBA. Right now, they haven't found a true number 2 because I don't know what I'm going to get. And see, what happens is that I put value, add weight to when LeBron says something about a player. It carries weight with me because LeBron knows what he's talking about. He's a student of the game, and he knows who can play. He says Brandon Ingram got next. At what? The playground? Because to date, Kyle Kuzma is the second best player on that team. To date, Kyle Kuzma is. And I keep waiting for Brandon Ingram to show me what everybody keeps telling me. Oh, Brandon Ingram's good. Ooh, he legit. Ooh, he good. LeBron, he's got next. Well, I can't tell. Because on a nightly basis, I never know what I'm going to get from him. Some nights he's good. Some nights he's like, for real? That's not good enough.
He's your new scapegoat.
No, I ain't no new scapegoat. No. Hold on.
Last year, Kevin Love. This year, Brandon Ingram.
I give you a prime example.
Interesting.
Do you remember Game 3 of the NBA Finals last year, Skip Bayless? Can you tell the people at home how many points Steph Curry had? He had 11, but they won the game. LeBron James had 14. They lose by 35. My point is, if you got another guy that can carry the weight.
Another guy, you get the best player on the planet.
But
Kevin Durant took the game over.
Hold on. You mean to tell me a 2-time MVP can give you 11 points and you still win a game?
No, I mean, that was Kevin Durant's special. Back-to-back years in Game 3 in the Kings'
It's
Palace.
funny that you say that because Kevin Durant has had 2 games this year in which he scored in the teens, and they lost. Russell Westbrook has 4 of those games. James Harden has 2 of those games.
But they were in trouble against Orlando the other night, and Kevin Durant said, nope, not in my house, 49 points.
Oh, so what they claim?
LeBron said, yes, Orlando, you can have this game in my house.
If you don't mind me
Thank
asking,
you. Go ahead.
I'm glad you said that. Can you tell the people at home what did Klay Thompson do in the fourth quarter?
He was good, but Kevin was just as good, if not better, for the game.
Just as. You see what you're saying? He was just
49 is 49.
But who goes? So on a nightly basis, who goes with LeBron?
Tell me when it's my turn.
It's not your turn just yet. You know it was terrible, Skip Bayless. I mean, the offensive rebounding. When you get pounded on the boards like that, now you know how Denver is. That's a very tough place to play. Ask the Warriors. Ask all the teams that's gone in there, and you get your break. If you don't play your best ball, you let them pound you on the glass. And they had an off night shooting threes themselves, Skip, because you know they normally rain them down in that building. In the Pepsi Center, they normally get it going, and the crowd gets into it, and they blow your doors off. They blew the doors off the Lakers, and they didn't shoot the ball particularly well.
No.
But when you turn the ball over, and the Lakers didn't have their customary in the team turnover, Skip, you can't go cold like that and beat a team on the road. But I knew this was going to happen because I saw the way they played Sunday. You don't play that bad at home Sunday, then pull it together on the road.
Really?
No.
Well,
but I tell
are they
you
going
what,
to pull it together the next time or the next time or the next time?
Here's the thing, Skip Bayless. The next 4 games they play at home. True. They better be 4-0.
Really?
If they're not 4-0, I'm going to start asking for some things.
Uh-oh. Somebody's job?
I don't like to ask for jobs, but I'm going to ask for some things.
Maybe the coach's job?
I'm going to ask for some things. You don't need to know what I'm going to ask for.
Some trades?
Because it's coming to Christmas.
Yep.
And Santa, y'all, I'm going to ask Santa for some things. Reach into that bag and pull me something out.
So last night I watched the Lakers' first road blowout that they suffered. And that's still pretty good. We're about a quarter of the way through the season. They had not been blown out on the road. They've been blown out by Toronto without number 2 at home.
Kawhi!
Number 2.
You
He doesn't play back-to-backs, or when he doesn't feel
So
like it.
why you care?
He didn't feel like playing that night. I don't want to play. And they still blew out the Lakers at home.
I'm not feeling it.
Bad idea. Bad night. So last night, the team I saw is a team that could be in danger of missing the Western Conference playoffs if, in fact, they play like that. And what I saw last night was a very weird basketball game because, to your point, LeBron James was in early attack mode. He was getting to the rim just effortlessly. Denver had nobody who could keep him from the glass, from the rim, from dunking, from going to the free throw line for and ones in the first quarter, in which he scored 10 points. And then they hung in and hung on until late in the second. There's 2:19 left in the first half, left in the second quarter. It was still 51-48. Denver. So it's still a 3-point game. And there was a turning point that happened because LeBron missed a dunk on one end. They had a little putback thanks to a nice tap by Kuzma. And then LeBron comes down the next time and misses a fadeaway from it was just a terrible shot idea, and he missed it badly. And fatefully, Lonzo gets tangled up with teammates and opponents, and they all fall down, and Lonzo Ball turned his ankle. And here we go. Whoop, 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 whoop. Oh, look out. And that was pretty much the end. He tried to come back and play, but he really was limping around, so he was ineffective. Lonzo and LeBron are still a very good backcourt combination. They have good vibes. They have good chemistry. They have good feel for each other. And I like the way the team functions with the two of them. It takes the assists away from Lonzo because they're going to drop dramatically because LeBron's going to get most of the assists. But all of a sudden, right in that area, of the game, LeBron James just flat out hit the wall. And I've not seen him hit the wall all year long, but he hit it hard and he fell down when he hit the wall. And I'm talking about the stamina wall because he just ran out of gas.
Yeah.
Completely out of gas.
You end up going out of the game.
Yeah, going out of the game. And so he goes 1 for 5 in the second quarter and scores only 2 points. And even though they were in shouting distance at halftime, down only 8, they didn't even show up in the second half on offense or defense. Now, I'm going to give them one break because this is an incredible stat. From outside the paint last night, the Lakers as a team shot 6 for 43 outside the paint. That is the worst in the last 3 years in the NBA. Not of the Lakers, in the whole league. For the last 3 years, no team has shot worse than 6 of 43 outside the paint. So you can chalk it up or write it off as just one of those nights.
Right.
As Doc Rivers, who we had on the show yesterday, always says, it's just a make or miss league. They either go in or they don't go in.
Correct.
And once they started missing last night, they all missed, including LeBron, but it usually starts with him. So I also look at this stat. Off jump shots this year, and now we're back to your original concern about this team. Just off jump shots, the Lakers are averaging the 3rd fewest points in the NBA. So they're not a very good jump shooting team. They're a push the ball team and get to the hole team, right?
Yep.
If LeBron is getting to the basket, not good things are happening, great things are happening. And if you can get him there quickly, it's really going to be good because they're going to lead the league if you can get him there in points in the paint and usually dominate games with points in the paint. So off last night, it gives me, cause to pause here. And I sit back and I think, wait a second. So now I look at the Lakers. They have fallen to the 7 seed, which is where I thought they would finish in the West. So they're 11-9 right now. And I look at the teams that are currently out of the playoffs after 1/4, we're about 1/4 of the way through. So we're at the quarter pole. Okay, that's some body of work of evidence, right? I look at the teams that are not in the playoffs right now in the West. And what did Doc say about the West yesterday? It is really tough because it's just so deep. It's not top heavy. It's just all the way bottom heavy, right? So I look at these teams. They're not in the playoffs right now. Spurs, your T-Wolves, then all of a sudden New Orleans Pelicans, Houston Rockets, Utah Jazz. Those teams are not in the playoffs. The 8 seed right now is Sacramento, who's had a phenomenal early burst here to get to 10-10. Will they hang on to that? Probably not. But will the Pelicans rise? Will the Rockets rise? Will the Jazz rise? Will they start to challenge?
Will we rise?
Okay, will they start to challenge for spots 6, 7, and 8? Yes.
Well, we're going to challenge for 2, 3, and 4.
Are you?
Yes, we are.
I don't know. I just
know.
don't know because there's a lot of hitting and there's a lot of missing going on.
And another thing, Skip, what's up with this rotation? Who comes in and who goes? I mean, one day it's Caldwell Pope. The next night it's Lance Stevenson, Josh Hart. Josh Hart cannot find a rhythm since his minutes have been.
Shannon wants the coach fired.
I don't want. I want.
It's okay. It's okay.
No, you ask for people's job. No, I just think Luke Walton can do a better job of getting rid of rotation. I didn't like the LeBron James in the blowout. He played 30 minutes. They had Paul Millsap looking like Karl Malone. Paul Millsap played 23 minutes, had a 20-11 ball game. Really? Paul Millsap is a good player, but Paul Millsap ain't that good.
Well, did LeBron show some signs of age last night? Maybe.
Skip,
Maybe.
Skip, you take one game. What about the game he scored 51? Did he show signs of aging? What about 44?
Yeah.
What about that triple-dub that he had against the Nuggets?
What had happened the night before he scored 51 back in his old stomping grounds in Miami? What had happened the night before?
I don't know what happened.
They got blown out at Orlando. But remember, Jenny, it was...
Oh, yeah.
It was
I remember.
Right, it's the jet lag.
Okay,
It's a jet lag
what
factor.
happened before he got blowed out in Orlando? A 44-10-9. Oh, you don't want to talk about that, huh?
No, I do. I'm just saying up, way down, way up, way down.
Skip, the man,
Okay.
really, in 20 games, he's had 2
Interesting.
bad games.
Interesting.
In 20 games, he's had 2 bad games.
Well, I told you there were 7 games they were in position to win, and
But did he have
the King could not close.
No. There's a difference between
King could not close.
Okay. There's a difference between not being able to close and having a bad game. In this situation, he had a bad game. They were in no position to close. He's had better games. He's had good games. They didn't get the job done down the stretch.
Okay.
So let's differentiate between the two, if you don't
It is
mind.
rare that LeBron James would have 10 points at the quarter, and then that's it?
Yeah.
He's going to score 4 more the rest of the way?
Yeah.
That's running into the wall, man.
Okay, it happens.
And you know, all this stuff about you can't breathe in the altitude, baloney. I've never bought it. You played there.
Yeah, it is. It's different.
You can feel it.
Yeah.
But I don't know
can't.
if it.
You ain't never gone.
blame
I tell you
for
what,
that.
go out there and you don't go out there and run.
Okay, you know what? I've gone there many times and I've run great distance. In fact, I've trained for marathons there with 20-mile runs, and I never felt one peep of it.
If you don't mind me
Not
asking.
1 ounce of
If
it.
there's-
Never I'm like, what?
Okay.
What altitude?
If you don't mind me asking.
Stop it.
If you don't mind me.
It's a myth.
If there's no difference, why do people go train at altitude if there's no
I don't
nothing
know.
to gain?
Mental. It's mental.
Why are the
toughness.
Kenyans the greatest distance
I don't
runner
know.
ever? Because there's a place over there they call the Rift Valley, where the great Kip Keino, when they burst onto the scene in the
don't think
'68 Olympics in Mexico, which was at altitude,
Yeah.
Skip Bayless.
What did you put outside the visitors?
5,280 feet.
Right.
You
put it
are
out there
1 mile high.
Where the visiting team would have to see that when
Yeah.
they walked out.
And guess what? Not only could you see that, and we had the L up underneath it.
Yeah.
Because that's what you're going to take up out of here, like Malone said. You're going to take this L.
I think you like the Nuggets because you just love Denver.
Nah.
Me too.
I
Either
mean, I
way.
like the Nuggets, but I like the Lakers. I like LeBron.
Do you?
And I like Mike Malone. Mike Malone, my new guy, when he said, I don't care who comes in here, Golden State, Milwaukee, Lakers, as long as you take that L with you.
Well, they are heading home, so hopefully the Lakers can.
If they don't go 4-0, I'm asking Santa Claus. I hadn't asked Santa for nothing in a very long time, Skip.
Really?
Baby. Yep.
You're right.
What are you going to ask for?
I don't know just
I
yet.
think you're going to ask for somebody's job.
I don't know what I'm going to ask for. They say
That's
you're not
the
supposed to tell people publicly.
You could ask
on
for
this show-
that Bradley Beal trade that's been rumored, right? It's out there.
I
The
don't-
Lakers need Bradley Beal.
I'm thinking bigger than Bradley Beal. If I'm going to ask Santa for something, it ain't going to be Bradley Beal.
Really?
Dawg, he's going to be about 6'10".
Really?
Yeah.
No mercy.
We have 1 game left in the season for college football and some drama with the college football playoff. Right now, we got Alabama, Clemson, Notre Dame are all undefeated. They're the top 3 teams in the newest rankings. You got Georgia, they're 4th right now, but they're a big underdog against Alabama on Saturday. And on the outside, looking in, Oklahoma and Ohio State. The Sooners are 5th, and they face Texas on Saturday. And the Buckeyes, well, they're 1 spot behind, and they'll face Northwestern in the Big Ten Championship on Fox. So, Shannon, if all the favorites win on Saturday, who should get that last spot? Are you going with Oklahoma or Ohio State?
Oklahoma, and it's not even close, Skip. Ohio State has the worst loss of a top 10 team in all of football. How do I get past a 29-point loss to Purdue, who just became bowl eligible the last game of the season? What am I supposed to do with that? They beat Nebraska by 4, and you know this is not Dr. Tom Osborne, the Cornhuskers. They've been terrible. Okay, they beat Maryland by 1 in overtime. Maryland has 5 wins. What am I supposed to do with that, Jenny? Oklahoma lost by 3 to their rivals, basically on a neutral site. And
not basically. It was a neutral site.
Okay,
Go
neutral
ahead.
site.
Yeah.
Okay, and it's a rivalry game, so
I'd say it's the best rivalry in college football, but go ahead.
I wouldn't go that far, but okay anyway. Iron Bowl still. But stop interrupting me. I don't even know why you're talking. It's not your turn, Skip Bayless. The fact of the matter is, Skip, how do I get past a 29-point loss? Okay, you beat Northwestern. I mean, so let's just say for the sake of argument, you beat Northwestern by 100. Northwestern, really?
What if you beat them like 62-39?
Well, that's what they're going to try to do. First of all, everybody knew, with the exception of you and Khaki Pants, that Michigan was overrated. I tried to tell you all year, but you didn't want to listen to me. You never listen to me, but that's okay.
Well, you're mostly wrong, but go ahead.
I'm always right. Oklahoma.
How many cases of did I win on Michigan this year? 2. Thank you.
Skip. Oklahoma, let's just say, okay, Oklahoma went to TCU, beat them by 25 at home. Ohio State beat TCU by 12 on a neutral site. Now, granted, TCU is not what we thought they were going to be.
Yep.
But come on, Skip. Really? Really? What am I supposed to do with this? If Oklahoma wins, it'd be a shame. I'm gonna stop watching football. If Oklahoma beat Texas, and they put Ohio State, because I believe they're gonna beat Northwestern, if they put them in over Oklahoma, I'm done watching college football.
So before I get to my argument here, let me extrapolate from what you just said. So if Kyler Murray manages to get his team to a playoff berth in spite of the worst good team defense in the history of college football, didn't you just make the case for Kyler being the Heisman Trophy winner?
No.
I think you just did, right?
Well, can we get some due on that? Let me get a chance to get my due back.
No, I'm asking you a question.
Yes, okay.
Kyler Murray gets a team to the Final Four with that defense. He's the Heisman winner. He should be run away with the Heisman, right? Alabama's got the 3rd best defense in college football statistically in points allowed.
And they're playing the toughest conference. Which is the tougher conference?
Okay.
Which would you say was easier to do, Jenny? Throw for 37 touchdowns in the Big 12 or throw for 36 touchdowns in the SEC? I just want to know, Skip, just for my satisfaction.
I'm talking about overcoming this defense. So now, to my case.
Skip.
Ohio State deserves to be the 4th team in, because Oklahoma does not deserve to be the 4th team in. And this is painful for me to talk about, painful for me to admit publicly, because I was, unlike somebody across from me, I was born and raised a Sooner fan. I can't help it because it's in my blood. I was taken to my first University of Oklahoma game when I was 5 years old, and I had to watch them lose to Notre Dame at home to end a 47-game winning streak. Think anybody will ever win 47?
No.
Okay, 47 in a row they had won. So this is painful for me, but it's been even more painful to have to sit and watch every snap of every Oklahoma game this year, because this is, I'm going to say it again, the worst good team defense in the history of college football. This defense, let me just say this. The offense set the all-time record for yards per play. That's pretty great. The offense led the nation in scoring, thanks primarily to Kyler Murray, who should win the Heisman Trophy. The defense ranked 99th in the country and ranked 127th out of only 130 schools in passing yards allowed. I'll say it one more time. They're 127th in passing yards allowed, and they won their last 4 games despite the defense giving up 47 points a game. That's an eyesore. I could barely watch the West Virginia game last Friday night. I would just cringe and close my eyes. It made me sick at my stomach because they had to win it 59-56, and whenever West Virginia wanted to score an 80-yard touchdown, they just did. Because, again, we even fired our coordinator, Mike Stoops, and replaced him, and it didn't matter. It actually seemed to make it worse. This is the worst defense in the Big 12, which is the worst defensive conference in America, to your point.
Oh, so don't you make my argument for Tua winning the Heisman?
No.
You just said it was the worst.
No.
Jenny.
So Texas scored 48 on Oklahoma, and Texas averaged in its other games 34 points. So that was by far the most Texas scored against anybody.
Can I ask you one question, Skip?
I'm not finished yet. You can't. So I don't know if there's some hidden agenda here for you, because I just do the hypothetical of Oklahoma versus Alabama in a national semifinal. Okay, so seriously, I'm being totally objective about this. Is it possible that Kyler Murray could figure out a way to score score 40 against the number 3 defense of St. Nick in Alabama, the way Deshaun Watson scored 40 in the national championship game in a loss, going back, 3 years ago? Yes. Could he do that? Sure, he could score 40. Yeah. Tua could name the score. St. Nick could name however many points. Would they want to score 60 or 70? Or seriously, if they went into the game saying, let's go score 80, they could score 80. The final score could be 80-40 because Tua throwing against this defense, the 127th ranked pass defense, it would be a joke. It would be an embarrassment. I don't want to have to watch it. They don't belong. So, yes, I watched every snap of that Ohio State at Purdue game. It was back on October 20th. It was 49-20. And I couldn't quit watching it because I was in awe of what a troubled football team that had become. Because there's talent everywhere. You could just see it on the field. But because of the Urban Meyer suspension and all the issues surrounding the team and all the social media controversies that just raged back and forth, it wasn't itself. And yet, right on schedule, against Michigan, it came together. And my eye test tells me that right now, Ohio State is a better overall football team than Oklahoma is. All wall-to-wall, better overall football team, a more representative football team, a more deserving team to play Alabama in a national semifinal. I believe Ohio State would give Alabama a better game than Oklahoma could give.
If you don't mind me asking, Skip, which is more reprehensible? Giving up 51 points to Maryland, 49 points to Purdue, or giving up 45 points to Texas?
As bad as they have been, it's not even remotely as bad as the Oklahoma defense has been. This is the all-time eyesore embarrassment in college football. All time. There's never been anything like this before. The disparity between an offense and a defense. Listen, Kyler belongs. If I could just send my offense to the national finals, like that works.
You talking about like Ohio State has a team defense. Okay, while Oklahoma is ranked 111th in total D, Ohio State is 68th.
Okay, but that's like 50 places better.
Okay, what about scoring D? Yep. Ohio State is 57th in scoring D.
Okay, mine's 99th. That's huge. That's 40 places.
Defensive yards per play.
You can do it all day long. They have not been very good. This has been all-time bad, Shannon. You're missing the point. Yeah. They can't stop anything from anybody.
Both teams have one loss. Which loss is worse? 29 to Purdue or by 3 to Texas?
But when you have troubled football teams and all of a sudden they come together right on schedule.
That's an excuse, Skip.
No, I don't care.
That's an excuse. No, that's an excuse.
Anybody would watch those games. If you watch Friday night and Saturday morning, as I did, that's Saturday morning here, noontime Eastern.
Yes.
I just sat back and said, Ohio State's just a better football team than Oklahoma is right now. They just are. Oklahoma can't stop anything. What do you think the score would be, Alabama, Oklahoma? Come on, you're an Alabama nut.
I think Alabama would beat Ohio State and beat Oklahoma.
Okay, what would the score be? Do you think it'd be closer in Ohio State? Come on, tell me. You know you do. No. You know Ohio State would give Alabama a little better game than Oklahoma. Am I right?
At the end of the day, Skip.
What do you think the score would be?
They're going to take that L.
Okay. Is this all about just wanting Alabama to win 80-40 over Kyler Murray?
Alabama's taking care of business. Ohio State had every opportunity to skip Bayless.
80-40. That would be the score.
Purdue, you gave up 49 points to Purdue. You gave up 51 to Maryland, who just scored 3 points against Penn State, Skip.
Well, you want me to start in on the last 5 games Oklahoma's played?
So let me ask you a question.
You want me to start in?
Were they trouble? Were they trouble when they gave up 51?
Do you realize Oklahoma gave up 40 at home to Kansas? To the Kansas Jayhawks. They scored 40. That's it. That's the end of it. Listen, any team that would give up 40 to Kansas at home, they're out. They're disqualified.
Let me ask you a question.
Stop it.
Let me ask you a question.
Just stop it. I don't want to inflict the embarrassment on myself again. It's over.
The objective.
Stop it.
Hold on. I thought when you played sports, the objective was to win the game. Some teams win it with defense. They suffocate you defensively. Some teams win with offense. But at the end of the day, did I get the dub or did I take the L?
Well, to your point, Kyler Murray should be running away with the Heisman.
You just told me the Big 12 is terrible at defense. He's throwing one more touchdown in the worst conference.
Yeah, but he has to overcome. His opponents the last 5 games averaged 47 points. How do you do that?
But you make it seem, you see what you did, Skip?
I didn't do anything.
You make it seem like
I just ran over you. That's what I did.
You make it seem like Oklahoma State and West Virginia and Kansas have Alabama defense. Their defense, they might not be 111, but they're in the 90s.
What Kyler's
Texas
doing is special, though. I mean,
it is all time.
So let me ask you a question. So is it more special than what Baker did? Because Baker was 43 and
I
6.
would say it's more special.
He's doing it differently, Shannon.
How many
he should have 1,000 yards rushing if he didn't take sacks
How
away.
many quarterbacks you seen do what Tua's doing in the SEC?
It's pretty unique.
How many?
Then, we haven't even
The
mentioned
SEC
Dwayne
is
Haskins.
way
He's
down.
playing
Way down. Give me
What's Dwayne Haskins throwing? How many touchdowns?
41.
Wait, is it the most in the
42.
history of the Big Ten?
Breaking
Yeah.
Big Ten
Wait.
passing records. He's
Oh.
a sophomore. We haven't even mentioned that guy.
Oh,
He's
way to
leading their
go.
offense, too,
Huh.
So what is Tua? Not a red shirt, a true sophomore.
All right, we could go on all day.
Sophomore.
We are moving on to
Whoa.
Big Ben. Different kind of quarterback.
Whoa.
Is he making excuses for his big interception on Sunday? We'll tell you next.
Let's go.
No mercy.
The Steelers lost 24-17 on Sunday against the Broncos. Ben Roethlisberger threw 2 interceptions, including a huge one in the end zone with just over a minute left that could have tied the game. Only Sam Darnold has thrown more picks than Ben this year, but he says it's no problem. Take a listen.
I wanted to even go back to the same play. I was going to throw it to Juju again. I think we should have went to him 4 straight plays. Third down was another run-pass option. He did undercut AB. So, who knows what would have happened. And that's where I talked to AB. AB, you have to come flat. You can't drift in the end zone because those undercuts can happen. Would the guy have had a chance to intercept it? Yes, I definitely think he would have had a chance. I can't control that guy. Sometimes those things happen. I'm a quarterback that's going to go out and sling it. You talk about gunslinger or whatever you want to talk about. I'm not going to worry about interceptions. I hate doing them. They bother me. But I'm going to go out and play my game and try and help us win football games. You talk about guys that miss a basketball, right? You miss threes or you're not making. Do they stop shooting? No, they keep shooting because you trust yourself.
All right, Shannon, what does this tell you about Ben?
It tells you that Ben does not get the gravity of his mistakes. Skipping again, you see what he's doing? Blaming someone else. I wanted to go back to Juju again. Skip, now it's the play call. Because I wanted to go to Juju again. I've also told AB, you got to come flat on that play. Skip, if AB comes as flat as Ben wants him to, he's going to run right into Harris, who steps back and intercepts the ball. That's the thing. How flat do you want him to come? Down the line of scrimmage, behind the line of scrimmage, Ben? Come on, Ben.
I mean, they didn't anticipate that Harris was going to fall back in the middle of the play.
But like he said, the dude jetted him because he knows when you're coming across, what's the likelihood? It's not like AB 6'8". They're going to throw him a back inline throw, Skip. He's got to come flat. And so what does a Roby does? He jets the route, which means he undercuts the route. Skip, I don't trust Ben like I once did. If you look at Ben, Skip, in the playoffs, when Ben throws 1 or fewer interceptions, they're 6-1. When he throws more than that, guess what? They're 7-7. 7-7. So, Ben, what that should tell you is that when you take care of the football, your guys, you win. When you give it away, it cost you last year, Ben, remember, in the divisional round of the playoffs? It cost you home field. Remember that 5-interception game that you had against the Jags? I just don't get it. I don't get Ben, is that he finds a way to put the blame. I wanted to go to Juju again. AB, you got to run flatter. What about that interception that you overthrew AB and hit Chris Harris in the chest? Whose fault was that? You didn't mention that one, but I saw that one too. Keep turning it over. And guess what? You'll be home again. Contemplate retirement like you do every year. After every painful loss, you look back and, I don't know how much longer. I do got boys, and I want to be a dad for them. I want to take them to practice and all this, because that's exactly what's going to happen. You keep having that same philosophy, because most guys that understand that turnovers, first of all, being shooting a 3 and throwing an interception is entirely different, because one, you're actually getting an attempt at the basket. The other, you're not. Turnovers. So when the guy turns,
if you miss a 3. It's not the end of the world. Yes. If you throw an interception, it can be the end of the world.
Thank you. It's like overthrowing a pass, Skip, okay? It's an incompletion as opposed to a missed shot, it didn't go in. But come on, Ben. You better take care of this football because your team is not good enough. Your defense isn't good enough to overcome your mistakes.
So I've always said about Ben Roethlisberger, who once upon a time lost a playoff game to Tim Tebow in your town of Denver, right?
Yeah, he did.
I've always said Ben has no conscience whatsoever. He loves his image as the ultimate gunslinger. He can shrug off pass rushers and throw another big completion. Loves throwing those 97-yard touchdown bombs, right?
Yep.
Because nobody can do it better than Ben can do it. Nobody can throw interceptions faster than Ben Roethlisberger. So over the last few days, we've talked a lot about throwing interceptions as it relates to 3 quarterbacks. The first one is Ben Roethlisberger. He is high risk, but I'll give him high reward. The second quarterback who talked yesterday about interceptions was Tom Brady. Tom Brady, I'm going to call him medium risk, but extremely high reward. And he talked yesterday or 2 days ago now about being more fearless. Don't be quite so careful. Go for it occasionally when you feel like you could pull it off.
Correct.
Then the third quarterback that we've talked a lot about throwing interceptions, who's now 20 touchdowns to only 1 interception, is one Aaron Rodgers. I consider Aaron low risk, low reward. And it's barely low reward because he did go on that 4-0 run to his lone Super Bowl 8 years ago, but his playoff record is now 9-7 because since the Super Bowl, he's 5-6 in the postseason. And a lot of that I attribute to being low risk, low reward. He doesn't throw many interceptions, but he's not throwing touchdown passes at the rate he should be given his golden arm. So I go back to Ben versus Tom Brady, and what's Tom's record against Ben? It's 8-2, counting some postseason games. 8-2? Well, it's because Tom always outplays Ben when it matters most because he's going to make the big throw without throwing the big interception, right? So I look at Ben, and so he's played in 3 Super Bowls, and he won 2 of them. But guess what? His touchdowns and interceptions are 3-5. 3 touchdowns to 5 interceptions in his 3 Super Bowls, and yet he won 2 of them. Well, he won the first one driving the bus, right? Literally driving the bus, as in the bus carrying the ball, right?
Because they played what they do. They ran the ball with Willie Parker and Jerome Bettis, and they had an outstanding defense.
And in that game against Seattle, Ben threw for a grand total of 123 yards, no touchdowns, and 2 interceptions, and they won the game.
Right.
And they got some controversial calls. And
yes, they did.
And then he beat Arizona, which I didn't think Arizona was much of a test, but it was 1 touchdown to 1 interception. And then he lost to Aaron Rodgers with 2 touchdowns and 2 interceptions. So it's 3-5, which are not scintillating stats. If you look at Tom Brady's just his Super Bowls, 8 Super Bowls, he's 18 touchdowns to only 5 interceptions, and he's averaged 322 yards passing a game in 8 Super Bowls. Well, that's pretty great.
And the thing is, Skip, is that what happened was that Coach Cowher made Ben take care of the football because they were going to run the football and then play outstanding defense. But something changed. This was no longer your mom and dad's Pittsburgh Steelers that played defense and ran the ball. It shifted. And the onus was put on Ben to throw the ball around. And he felt that he could throw the ball around without consequences or repercussions. But when you're in the playoff, Skip, and you turn the football over, you turn it over more than once, Skip, you're probably going to lose the game. Because you play double. And the further along you go in the playoffs, the more the turnover will hurt you. Ben needs to understand, I get it. You're like, I'm going to keep playing my game. Your game is costing your team. Is that your turnovers cost them. Now, look, there are enough blame to go around. I mean, Connor fumbled the ball. The tight end had an opportunity to get the ball in the end zone. He fumbled the ball. But Ben, these interceptions, and to be so cavalier about it. I mean, most quarterbacks of Ben's ilk would say, you know what, guys, I need to do a better job. Now, I mean, I can't be overly cautious where I'm afraid to throw the ball down the field, but I do need to do a better job of taking care of the football. Not, I got no concerns. I'm going to just go out there and throw it and then go blame everybody else because remember last year, Skip, against New England. Well, they wanted me to kill it, and I didn't want to kill it, and I'm like, bro. That's conversation you don't tell the world about the conversation that you and the offensive coordinator had. And again, I wanted to go back to Juju. Really? So now again, you didn't like the play call.
You think you're going to teach this old dog new tricks?
No,
I don't think so either.
No. So,
so he's got 2 Super Bowl rings, and in the postseason he's 13-8, which is highly respectable. And I think he doesn't lose any sleep over throwing interceptions. Some regular season
But
game.
guess what? He'll go home early because he'll turn the ball over. He'll throw a bunch of interceptions. And then at the end of the game, they're going to ask him, Ben, are you coming back? Well, I'm going to take some time with my family. I'm going to contemplate retirement, because, I got a broken toe and my dog died yesterday and all. I'm going to go sit on the rocking porch and all kind of foolishness.
I hope his dog doesn't die, but that's just.
No, I'm saying,
He does
but
always have something
he's
to
a
say.
country Skip. Ben give an interview at the end of the season.
Yep.
It's like a country western singer.
It is.
It's gonna rain all
I
day,
agree.
and I got to get the old pickup truck and the dog in the back, and I don't know what's gonna happen from here on out.
Yep.
It always is that same story. And what did he do? He compared his interceptions to missing threes. I mean, I don't know, not the same.
And Skip, I'm trying to. You know what, Skip? I let you slide, but you tried to take a shot at Aaron Rodgers.
Well, he deserves a shot.
No,
5 and 6 in the postseason.
Okay, but let me ask you a
since the Super
question.
Bowl?
Okay,
It's not a shot; it's a fact.
as aggressive as Tom Brady is, how does a guy that's low risk, low reward have
No,
more
he's
touchdowns?
medium risk, extremely high reward.
But if Rodgers is low risk, low reward,
Yep.
how does he have more touchdowns than a guy that's medium?
Can I give you his record right now? It's 4-6-1.
That record is
Aaron
the one
Rodgers is 4-6-1. Tom Brady is 8-3.
Can you imagine
Tom
if
Brady
he
is 8
if
and
he had
2
7
against
interceptions,
Ben
what his record would be?
Roethlisberger.
Green Bay wouldn't have won a game, Jenny. If he had thrown 7 picks, Skip Bayless, the man throwing 1 interception, they're 4-6-1. Your guy's thrown 7.
Here comes Tom Brady toward that number 1 seed.
Well, you want some dew on it? You want some dew on it?
I might.
He's thinking
I'll see
about
how I
it.
feel about that.
Oh, you gonna wait till the end of the season?
I got a game to get through tomorrow night first that matters, that really matters.
Oh, y'all, that's the Super Bowl.
Super Bowl.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's go back to missing threes because that is what was happening with LeBron and the
Yep.
Lakers last night.
Yep.
Chris Broussard answers what was going on.
Here we go.
No mercy.
All right, guys, the Lakers were terrible last night, getting blown out by 32 points in Denver. LeBron had a season-low 14 points, and the Lakers missed 33s. After the game, LeBron said they tried to stop the dam from running over, but added, quote, at one point, it broke open because we couldn't make shots. We're joined by FS1 NBA analyst Chris Broussard. Chris, how do you explain LeBron's performance last night?
This is a very simple explanation.
Oh.
All right. I didn't expect a 32-point beatdown. I did expect the loss, though. As you know, as well as anybody, it's tough playing up in Denver in that altitude. They're 9-3 at home, and LeBron has rarely been at his best in Denver. Career, he's 7-8 when playing in Denver. His points per game, his field goal percentage, his rebounds per game are all below his career averages when playing in Denver. On top of that, I watching LeBron last night, I think he was fatigued because if you go back to before last night, the 5 games leading up to last night, Rondo was out. LeBron has been playing more point guard with Rondo out. And point guard wears LeBron down when he plays it all the time. I think that's one reason he hasn't wanted to ever be like just a full-time point guard. And then you look at the minutes. Okay, the previous 4 games before last night, he was averaging 37 minutes a game. The 7 games before that, again, Rondo's healthy, he's only averaging 32 minutes. So I think all of a sudden that caught up with him as well. And he came out strong, 4 for 7 in the first quarter, 10 points. But I think as the game wore on, it caught up with him. And he was off the ball a lot more, too. Like, especially in the second half, he was in the post, he was on the elbow a little more. And I just think I think all of that conspired to lead to LeBron having really maybe his worst performance of the year, or certainly one of them.
It's a bad night. I'm going to chalk it up to a bad night. I know you want to look deeper, Dr. Phil.
It's just the beginning of
I know you want somebody. You want to be on.
Wait, is it my turn?
No, it's not your turn. I'm talking.
Oh.
You want to be. He want LeBron to come sit on his couch, kick up his heel, and you got a pen, and you like this here. Okay, LeBron, tell me what happened last night. What are you feeling right now? That's not the case, Skip Bayless. It was a bad night, and superstars have bad nights. And contrary, TV land, to what you're thinking, Michael Jordan did have bad nights. Skip will tell you he scored 40 points every single game for 15 years. That is not true.
He did go 6-0 in the finals.
Yeah, but
with
everybody
6
talking
MVPs.
about it. I thought it wasn't your turn.
I think you asked
I
me.
did not ask you. I was talking to TV land.
Yeah, you need clarity.
No, I don't need no clarity. He had a bad night, and what needs to happen in order for this team, guys, to get to where they need to be, when LeBron has a bad night, someone else is going to have to pick him up. Because we've seen Houston, when James Harden has a bad night, Chris Paul, Eric Gordon can pick up the slack. Kevin Durant has a bad night, Stephen Clay can pick up, and vice versa. So you need a situation where if LeBron doesn't get you 28, doesn't get you 30, 40, and he doesn't have double-figure rebounds or almost double figures in assists, who's going to be that next option? We have yet to see it. Everybody keep telling me
they don't have a consistent. Yeah.
They keep telling me it's Brandon Ingram. LeBron told me he had next, and we can put a lot of weight into what players say because I believe that's a lot of the reason why teams are still giving Carmelo because, man, they're doing Carmelo so wrong. Carmelo can still play. Skip, the players, they're close to this.
Who says that?
Huh?
Twitter says that.
No,
right?
no.
I think that was a Twitter response.
Yeah.
No,
No, my analytics.
Oh.
Yeah, I got analytics. I got analytics guy.
You're going to spill your Henny.
Hey, no, I ain't breaking. I drunk all that last night watching that game.
That's what I thought.
But they need to find a consistent guy that they can depend on that's going to give them, Skip, 18 to 20 points on a nightly basis. And right now, they don't have that. And this rotation, I never know from night to night, Skip, who's going to be the first or the second guy off the bench.
Because I don't. Shot at Luke. I heard it. I see it. I feel it. Dr. Phil here. See it.
You love to keep stuff going. This joker here.
No, you started it.
I just started it. All I'm saying is that I like to see a more sound rotation and not, okay, I'm gonna try this guy. I'm gonna try that guy. No, that's not how it works.
Well, last night you just had to keep trying whoever, right?
Easily.
Yeah.
First half.
He tried Beasley, and he dunked. I didn't even know he could still dunk, but he did. That was impressive. So it's Dr. Phil's turn. And what Dr. Phil saw last night was pretty shocking because I don't know LeBron. I've never spoken to LeBron before, but I know something about LeBron, and I know people who know LeBron very well. This guy knows him pretty well right here. But I was stunned by what I saw in the second quarter from LeBron James because he hit the wall hard in the second quarter, not in the second half. And it shocked me because he is in such superb condition. But I do agree he's had to push it a little bit. And I do agree he has been with ball in hand a whole lot. I like this team the best when he's running the point, but it's going to take a lot out of him, and he's in his 16th NBA year. So they've kept minutes down, but they haven't kept energy draining down. That's just energy draining.
Played almost 40 minutes on Sunday.
He did, and they lost.
Yes.
So it leaves you flat because you got to the precipice, and then you didn't get home.
Correct.
And then you got to fly to Denver, and I agree. Denver's hard, but again, Denver has lost 3 times at home, so they're not invincible at home, and the Lakers have played at a high enough level on the road. They haven't done that. That's the first road blowout that they've had all year. They've been very good on the road, and again, he's 7-8, but he has won 7 times there in his life. So
that's 16 years. That's 16 years, Skip.
But what got me was LeBron came out in full-on attack mode in the first quarter because Denver can't. Nobody can keep this man, even in his 16th year, from the basket. Nobody. And he was just taking it home and taking it to the free throw line for and ones.
That's what may tired him out. Do you know how hard it is to constantly drive? Because Skip, he like I said, like KD and these guys that can shoot the ball from the outside efficiently, that's not LeBron's game. So to drive and take that contact and that altitude is going to wear on you, Skip.
But is he not supremely conditioned? I mean, don't give me just a quarter. And then he just, in the second quarter, he had nothing left. He lost his legs in the second. He goes 1 for 5 for 2 points after scoring 10 in the first quarter. I thought he was on the way toward 40. And you said, what,
26, 10, and 8.
10 and 8. And I'm thinking 40, 10, and 10. That's how it felt.
Combined, he didn't get to 26. Combined his rebounds and assists, he had 23.
Okay, so just me, I watched a whole lot of Michael Jordan. I don't remember him hitting the wall in Chicago the way LeBron hit it last night. He would hit the wall in his age 38 and 39
He hit the wall
years
sometimes, Skip Bayless.
He didn't play a 16th year.
Yeah.
Now, and here is the thing. Look, we don't really remember, and I know you were at a lot of Jordan's games, but for the most part, we don't remember his mediocre or bad nights. You know, there wasn't the shows like this didn't exist where we analyze every single game.
Right.
That's part of the scrutiny LeBron's under that Jordan wasn't.
Okay, but I always said this about Michael games. Every game I watched, I would walk away from saying, he did one thing tonight that I'd never seen before. That was the beauty and the magic of Michael Jordan, where he'd do something where I'd say, man, I don't
like that block shot. You see that guy challenge LeBron, and LeBron hung up in there?
LeBron blocked some shots last night.
Yeah, you saw that?
He did a lot for a little while. And then, boom, he ran into the wall and fell on his back. That's how hard
You
it gets
seem
along.
happy about that.
I don't. I was shocked by it. And again, I said this would be the 7th seed, that the Lakers would finish in the 7th seed. And I'm looking at the playoffs right now, and this is going to be a horse race, man.
Yeah,
Good.
It's not going to be simple.
And guess who got Secretariat?
Yeah.
The Lakers.
Well,
So you think they're in
he's
trouble?
out to stud right now. He's been retired.
No, he ain't.
Yeah.
He'll be back.
Well, you can see he's pacing himself.
Pacing.
Defensively, he'll block some shots,
Yeah.
but he's not really getting into people and things like that. So he's clearly pacing
I know he
himself,
didn't
and
get
then
into Terrence
offensively.
Ross at the end of the Orlando game, but that's
Whatever, Skip.
he got blown by for the
Skip,
winning basket.
He
I don't know.
He overran.
Oh, okay.
You saw that.
Well, he's smarter than to overrun Terrence Ross.
Are you saying they're going to have trouble making the playoffs?
I think they're going to have a hard time hanging on. I stand by what I said. 7 seed. Would you
We ain't
have
hanging on to no
3?
seven.
I had them 53 wins, so
3,
that would be
4?
3 or 4.
Okay.
First of all, we're not hanging on to no 7th seed. We're
As
going
I-
to hang on to the 2nd or the
As I
3rd
reminded
seed.
this man, the reason the West is so hard is because the West is so deep. It's not as top heavy as it used to be, but it's really bottom heavy. So I reminded this man across the table from me, the Lakers sit in the 7th seed right now at 11-9, but out of the playoffs right now are Spurs, T-Wolves, and now it gets even worse. Pelicans, Rockets,
Right.
Jazz, all in order.
And they might stay out of the
Pelicans,
playoffs.
Rockets, Jazz. Will they rise? I think so.
Chris, look, can I ask
The
you-
Rockets will rise for sure.
What you think
Spurs got a chance.
if you don't mind me asking, was LeBron the best player in the East or the best player in the NBA?
NBA.
Okay. Is the Western Conference in the NBA?
Wait, is Golden State in the end?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought they were in the CBA.
We're not talking about them right now.
After Golden State,
Anything,
like, to
yeah.
your point, there's 11 teams that are close.
Yeah, they're vying for those
I
slots.
think the
And right-
Clippers
right-
are going to have. Will they stay doing what they're
Probably
doing?
not, but they're
Memphis.
pretty good. The Clippers
They
are
are
pretty
good. They're
Will Memphis
they're
hang?
dogs.
I don't know.
No.
No?
It's hard to believe
No.
they would.
Lakers.
Sacramento right now is in
They're
the play.
10
They're going
and
to
10.
fall.
They're going to fall. They're not going to make the playoffs, but they've been much better than they
yeah.
used
Yeah.
to be.
And guess what?
And you know what? Sacramento's going to knock some teams
And the
off
Lakers
along
have
the
been
way.
much
They
better.
will.
Hold on. And the Lakers have been much better. You make it seem like this was the last 5 years they had Magic and Kareem. The Lakers have been terrible.
They're much better.
So-
They're much better.
That's ancient history.
Why
Now
is it-
they got LeBron James.
Say it with your chest out. Say it again. Why is it ancient history, Skip Bayless? Because they got who?
They got the king.
That's what I need you to say.
At least they head home for
4-0
the
the next 4 games. You want to put some
4-0.
dew on that? You want to put some dew on
They got
that?
Pacers,
4-0.
Pacers,
4-0 the
Mavs,
next.
Suns.
Who are they?
Spurs.
Say it again.
Pacers, Mavs, Suns, Spurs.
Pacers don't have Oladipo right
I don't care who they got.
They
They can have-
should win.
They could have George
Spurs
McGinnis.
will be tough.
They could have George McGinnis for all I care.
Wouldn't it be funny if they won the first 3 and then lost to the Spurs and you lost your bet?
Put it on.
That could
That's
happen.
funny.
That could happen.
Well, it
Yeah.
happened
Are we
once
doing it?
already.
Because old Greg Popovich hating. Oh, Kawhi wasn't a leader for us. You proud of that, Skip? That your coach is taking shots at players that no longer play
Well,
for
that
you?
was just a duh. Whoever said he was a leader?
Why you okay if it was a dub? Why you bringing it up?
Number
That's a different
2, a
discussion,
leader?
Shannon, for a
know what?
different day.
Kawhi.
Come on.
Talk about number 2 another time. Chris, come back later. Thanks for being here. Should the Cowboys be talking trash about the
I don't like how that
Saints?
came out,
Discuss that with James Harrison next.
No mercy.
Thursday Night Football returns this week with 2 of the hottest teams in the league as Zeke Elliott, Dak Prescott, and the first-place Cowboys take on Drew Brees and the first-place Saints. So let's talk about that game. Dallas, they've won 3 straight, but they're facing a Saints team that has won 10 straight games. Drew Brees and the New Orleans offense leads the league in scoring at about 37 points a game. And yesterday, Cowboys defensive end DeMarcus Lawrence was asked if the Saints O-line would be the toughest they've faced. And guys, he didn't hold back. Lawrence said this: "They're going to have to match our intensity. Bleep for 60 minutes straight. If you hit an MFer in the mouth and then they ain't doing what they're regularly doing, putting up 50 points, they start to get a little distressed.
Yep.
Now you got them where you want them at, and then you effing choke their ass out."
Jenny
take a
Taft.
listen.
Jenny Taft
Get
said
him, Jenny.
MF.
You know, I had
Jenny
to read it with
Taft
a little
said
more
it.
oomph
Oh,
there.
That was
That's what he
incredible.
said. That's
Way
what
to
he
go,
said.
Jenny.
Thank you. Let's hear what Jerry had to say.
Each play, every time they have the ball, we've got to think it's the Super Bowl play. It is the play. We're just going to have to play them that way, both on our defensive front and as well as when we play offensively. Big games like this are down to the individual play. And if every player will, on every play, in this game say, when we put that on tape Monday, it's going to look like one of my best plays of the year. It's really going to take that kind of focus to beat a team like this.
All right, we're joined by FS1 NFL analyst James Harrison. Good morning, James. When you listen to that talk from the Cowboys, do you like it or dislike it?
I love the confidence. I love the approach. I don't like that he said it out in public because now you're giving them bullet board material. You're giving them something to look at and press forward to. Right now, I know you're on a high. The Cowboys are on a high because they got 3 games.
I wasn't until I read this quote.
But But they played against not New England. They played against the Eagles, which is 24th, 26 in defense total. They played against Atlanta, that's 27, something like that. And they won those games. And Washington didn't even have a quarterback.
Nope.
You know, the quarterback was hurt. So, right now, they're riding a little bit of a high, and he's trying to get them to that point where, if you beat the Saints, who everybody believes is
Jerry.
Yes,
okay.
yes, Jerry is saying if you beat the Saints, which everybody believes is easily one of the best teams over there, then you have a chance to actually go out and keep that moving and pushing forward to where he may be the team that is now talked about as being a Super Bowl contender. Like I said, I love the confidence. I like the approach. But for me, every game should be a Super Bowl. You have to win every game. Your approach shouldn't change. Your mentality for that shouldn't change.
Did you ever say anything like what DeMarcus Lawrence said about the
Everybody says that behind closed doors.
Publicly.
Everybody says that behind closed doors. That's one thing that Bill Cowher told us. He said, never give them bullet board material. It was a loudmouth tight end that used to do that a lot. That would give guys bullet board material.
I was provoked.
Loud
provoked.
That was provoked.
Always provoked? Okay.
You know what, Skip? I like old Hood Jenny. Old Jenny Reed, that
that was my favorite moment in the history.
I didn't know you could say ass. I didn't know
nailed
that.
it.
Well, he said I was too soft.
I like old Hood.
I liked
old
it.
Hood Jenny. Boom. Jenny really from the block.
Thank you.
But here's the thing, Skip and James, when you put so much emphasis, you says, okay, if we win this game, what happens if you lose? Are you going to say we lost the Super Bowl? You going to say, oh, it was just another game. See, in regular season, I treat them as the same. They come, I'm not getting ready. This is not a Super Bowl, Skip. The folk, we need every play. We want to look back at every. No. Jerry, let me tell you something. I played a long time. James, you played a long time. Every play is not perfect. Some of my best games where I caught the ball well, not blocked, but there were some plays in there, I was like, ooh.
Yeah.
I wish the camera would have blacked out on that one. Didn't catch that play.
They could have cut me out in the corner a little bit.
Exactly, Skip. So, but Jerry is, for me, I don't mind guys talking. I kind of like the guys that's a little closer to the action. My head coach, if the players on the team want to talk, got no problem with that. But Jerry, stop. Let them handle this right here. Now, you got your work cut out for you because New Orleans, they feeling good about themselves. They don't want to stop this momentum. Listen at the guys talk. They really like being around each other. They have fun, but they go to work every single day to get better. I ain't got no problem with DeMarcus Lawrence. Now, we're going to see. Now, for me, that's the matchup I'm going to be watching. I'm going to be watching him and that old right tackle.
I think the whole world just focused on that matchup.
Yep, I'm going to watch it.
But like I said, that's a check that you done wrote for 52 other guys.
Yeah, that's
and
the thing.
everybody now, their one-on-one matchups, they're thinking about exactly what he said. And I'm trying to dog you just because of what your teammate said. Because if you said it out loud, you're saying it for sure behind closed doors, if not worse.
Yep. So I'm going to tell Mr. Harrison here what I told Mr. Sharpe to start this show. I was feeling pretty good about my team's chances on Thursday night until I read I used to call him DeMarcus Lawrence Taylor because sometimes he's like a Lawrence Taylor. But this is completely over the edge. This is completely out of bounds. I don't think you can write a check for this team to cash because this team is lucky to be 6-5 right now. It's lucky to be a 7.5-point underdog. And to me, this quote is worse. I'm not going to read it again because Jenny nailed it, and I don't want to step on what she did.
Jenny got that thing.
Replay it.
But it's so bad to me. It's such a call out that it's worse than guaranteeing a win because he's called out. Remember, the New Orleans offensive line is simply the best in football. Pittsburgh's got a good one. Dallas used to have a really good one and has a decent one right now, but not like this team. This team protects Drew Brees like he's the Hope Diamond. He's been sacked all of 10 times this year, and DeMarcus Lawrence hasn't had nearly the year this year that he had a year ago. He's got He's 13th in sacks with 8.5. Not bad, but not great. As a team, they're 12th in sacks. Not great, but not exactly Saxonville from last year. So again, you're not speaking from a position of strength. You're going at a position of strength. You are rattling the beast. This is a beastly offense here, and you're rattling a cage of an offense that might have come in, I don't know, a little overconfident.
Sleeping,
maybe a little bit. And I used the old
Let
cliche,
a sleeping dog
let
lie.
sleeping dogs lie. Let a sleeping Breeze lie. Let a sleeping Camara lie. A sleeping any of the receivers, just name one.
Michael Thomas.
Michael Thomas, let him lie. Let the offensive line just lie still. Don't go shaking their cage. Don't go. That's exactly what they needed after they won 10 straight games, is to go to Dallas. Everybody hates Dallas anyway. That's enough.
Yeah.
So don't provoke them because they don't need to be provoked. They're too good.
Well, they might turn back into doomsday.
Okay, this is arguably the greatest offense ever. The quarterback is having arguably, according to the QBR stat, he's having the greatest quarterback year in the history of football. He against you, for his career, he's 3-1 at Dallas. He's 5-2 against Dallas. And don't underestimate this, because they're again, I worked for a long time in Dallas. These are neighboring states, Louisiana and Texas, and it's like bitter rivalry between New Orleans and Dallas, more than you think. They're not division rivals.
They got a lot of fans in New Orleans. I didn't realize that, but there are a lot of Cowboy fans in New Orleans.
That is correct. And a whole lot of New Orleans Saints fans hate Dallas fans because they have to live around them. Yep. And so the blood rivalry here is it's in some ways it's worse than that division rival, against Carolina or Atlanta or those kind of Tampa. It's not it's different. So you can't provoke this now. It's the worst thing you could have said. It's going up on the bulletin board.
Question.
Sean Payton loves this stuff.
He does.
And you're going to give them a reason to run up the score, because he will run it up if he gets the chance.
Yeah, you got your son at home, your daughter at home talking about, Daddy, who is this man talking about? He go choke your ass out. Who is that?
Seriously, think of what you just said. You just said you're going to choke them out? Seriously.
It's a figure of speech, but people go take it literally.
They do.
But he's saying, literally, we're going to choke out the offensive line. Really?
Right. Yeah.
That's what you're going to do? And now to my owner, who just can't help himself. He just can't stop. So he was saying some good things about it's a measuring stick game.
Right.
It's a challenge. Okay, that's all well and good. But when you invoke the name Super Bowl, everybody's going to leap to a conclusion. Oh, this is your Super Bowl, Jerry, because you haven't played in one in 23 years?
Right.
You haven't played in a conference championship game in 23 years? Really?
And he didn't mention anything about when he played the Eagles. He mentioned about Super Bowl.
No.
Now this was the Eagles were the defending champs.
Right.
Skip. That should be the measuring stick.
And it's such a bad thought to plant. To your point, we're not home yet. This isn't the last game of the year, right? So let's say the impossible happens. They pull off the big upset.
Right.
Then everybody goes home and says, well, if that was the Super Bowl, what's the Eagles game on next Monday night? What is it? We have to go backwards and play the conference championship game? Or what, right?
Because at this point in the season, with the Cowboys where they are, Skip, the games get bigger. There's not a bigger game than the Super Bowl. Right. So you can't have the Super Bowl and then go descending order. They just get bigger. You keep winning, especially the hole you dug for yourself. Yeah. You win 3 in a row. So now you go to 4, and now you got to go to 5. Because here's the thing. You lose this game, Skip, guess where you are? The Eagles come in with a chance to take over the division. And then what?
Okay. But again, is my team barely good enough to at least stay on the field with New Orleans? Yeah, it can be, but you can't do this. You needed to walk softly into this game.
No.
Not when they lose this game.
Yeah.
When?
Yeah, we got to do this.
We got to do not.
Skip, you got to bet on your team.
I need 14.
Whoa!
Huh?
Asking for points?
Yeah.
No. That's bad.
No?
No.
Well, you already.
Your team.
You predicted it would be a 21-point blowout. I need 14.
We got 2 cases to do.
Huh?
2 cases.
Oh, so you're trying to get it back? You know what? You're like a degenerate gambler.
I am.
You're chasing bad money with good money, right? And you just get worse and worse.
Need one. I win one bet, then I shove it all to the center table.
Doubling nothing.
Oh, Miss Mary gonna be upset, Skip. She's like, Jennifer, did you say what I think you said on television?
Oh, her mom.
She's for sure watching, too.
Oh, yeah.
She will have texted
get
me.
it. You said that word like you said it before.
I mean, occasionally.
Skip, you
have?
She said it.
Whatever. Do you guys want me to read it again?
No.
Okay,
But I'm saying the way
Let's
you
go
said
get
it.
replay. Don't worry.
I mean, Jenny was turned to the side. They couldn't see it because she was on camera. She turned to the side like this, Emma Effer. I'm like, whoa!
Shreddy, it's serious quote. You said I was too soft the first time. I had to do it better.
You did it.
He spat this quote
said
out.
It,
he
not
spat
me.
it out.
You said it.
I'm just doing my job, reading the quote.
Thank you,
Matt.
Jenny.
I'm sure.
Way to go.
I need to call Matt. Matt, have you ever heard this before?
He probably has.
Probably has.
Thank you for being here. Will LeBron get his wish and play with his son in the NBA? We'll discuss the future next.
No mercy.
LeBron is in his 16th season and will turn 34 next month. His oldest son, Bronny, he's 14 years old and is in the 8th grade. So any way you add up the math, it appears it would be difficult for LeBron to play in the NBA with his son, but that is still a dream for the king. Let's hear it.
I would love to see the floor with my son. My son is in the 8th grade now. If he continues on the path that he's on right now, he could possibly be in the NBA in 5-6 years. So that would be an unbelievable moment for not only myself, but for my family, for everybody. So we'll see. Taking care of the body is number one, but more importantly, taking care of the mind. If your mind's not fresh, then your body will fall at the waistline. So that would be pretty dang on cool if I'm able to be on the NBA floor with my oldest son.
All right, Chris Broussard back with us for this discussion. But Shannon, I'm going to start with you here. What are the chances of that happening?
I'm going to say 1,000,000 to 1.
Really?
1,000,000 to 1.
Wow.
Because here's the thing now. You're talking about he's great as an 8th grader. That's 8th grade. So you got 4 years of high school. And you got college. Now, there have been a lot of guys that were great 8th graders. Some great 9th graders and 10th and 11th and 12th graders that didn't play in the NBA. So everything has to go perfect for him. Now, it's a more likely scenario is LeBron is still playing, because I can see LeBron playing 21 seasons in the NBA. Probably not going to be the same player that he is now. Skip, I mean, we look at father-son, we look at Ken Griffey Sr. and Ken Griffey Jr. Now, we're talking about a prodigy. Ken Griffey Jr. was a prodigy. His dad was not a prodigy, Skip.
Nope.
So what's the likelihood that the dad is a prodigy and the son is a prodigy? And even, now LeBron said, I said 1,000,000 to 1. LeBron says just taking the court. When Ken Griffey Jr. made it to the majors, the dad was on the Reds. He was about to get released, and he said, well, this is a great opportunity for me. I get an opportunity to play with my son. So he ended up going to the Mariners. They played. Not only did they play, they batted behind each other. Man, that's a once in a lifetime. I don't think we'll ever see anything like that again. I think if it was baseball, it would be more likely.
You could play longer.
You could play longer, and there's a quicker ascension rise. But I think I'm going to say 1,000,000 to 1. But if anybody that's going to stick around long enough, it would be LeBron to be able to see the court with his son.
I definitely don't think it's 1,000,000 to 1. I think it's a lot less. I'm going to say there's maybe a 20% chance of it happening. I really believe that. First of all, one of the things that makes me go so high is LeBron clearly is motivated to do it, because he's not going to be a superstar.
We're not talking about LeBron. You're talking about his son.
I'm going to get to him. I'm going to get to him. But LeBron, number one, only 4 players. It would be LeBron's 21st year.
Yes.
If Bronny was a prep to pro. And I think the one and done will be done by then.
Right.
But is he going to be that good? So I'm with you. I'm not saying it's guaranteed. But will LeBron, if he averages 24 points a game, say for the rest of his career, he will pass Kareem in his 19th year. So what he would want to play 2 more years as probably, let's just be honest, a pretty good player, but not a superstar anymore. Right. Would LeBron be motivated to do that? So I think that's a big issue. As far as little LeBron, he's ranked by Coast to Coast Prep website, which LeBron has referenced before, I believe. He's ranked 24th in the 8th grade. I actually like that.
I can't believe they're ranking 8th.
I know. But I like that he's only 24th, because a lot of the guys that young that are ranked number 1 don't pan out. When LeBron was in 8th grade, the number 1 player in the country was Major Wingate.
I remember him.
You remember him? He played in Tennessee 3 years,
Yeah.
never got to the NBA. But O.J. Mayo. Now, he made it, but, fell off Derek character. A lot of guys, because they're men by the time they're 8th graders.
Interesting.
So, Kobe, I'm not saying they weren't really good in 8th grade, but Kobe, Dwayne Wade. LeBron was not ranked nationally when he was an 8th grader. He really blew up on the national scene as a freshman in high school. So I like the fact that Lil LeBron is not, the #1 player in the country yet at his age. That shows he's got room for growth. I've talked to people that watch LeBron at this age and Lil LeBron at this age. Most of them tell me as good as Lil LeBron is, he's not as good as LeBron was.
Well,
right, which is nothing wrong with that.
Right.
However, I talked to somebody today who watched them both and was close to LeBron. He said they're very comparable. He said the feel for the game, and you've watched videos of Lil LeBron, feel for the game, the passing ability, the willingness to pass. And LeBron has said he's a better shooter and better ball handler at this stage, which makes sense because these kids are better at that.
They handle it now. They got all the teachers
nowadays. But look, you're right that it's a long shot for a guy in 8th grade to make it to the NBA. But look, he's got some advantages. If he still has the drive, and that's a question too. Is he going to be motivated? Will he not want to walk into his dad's shadow and all that stuff? But if he has the drive, you got a great teacher, obviously, in LeBron. He's playing against the best kids in the world. I really think it's a good chance that he makes the NBA. I'm going to say 20%.
I'm interested to hear what you say.
By the way, Bronny is already a better shooter than his father.
Oh.
And that's not being
just
sarcastic.
In 8th grade, but
just right now, he's a better shooter. He is. Just off the video, I like his stroke better. I like his range better. I do. I'm serious.
You see LeBron pulling up from where he's pulling up from.
This kid has a chance to be really good. Seriously, really good. Will he stay on path? There's no better teacher than his father. Right. There's no higher basketball IQ than his father, and it looks like the kid got some of it. I don't know if you can inherit it or not.
It looks like it.
It looks like he did. So I'm with Chris. I might be a little higher. Given LeBron, here's the key X factor to this, is LeBron James, I hate to even bring this up because I'm going to knock on wood for him. He is the most durable superstar in sports history, and there's nobody even close. He's had I'm knocking on wood because I don't even like to bring it up, but he's had no serious injury. No knees, no shoulders, no back.
Right.
Little back things, but not big back things, right?
Right.
So because of that, it gives you a chance, given his knowledge for how to take care of himself, given the money he puts into it, given the time he puts into it, he's got a chance to play 21 or 22 years. And if he could get to 22 and still be a credible NBA player, then you would have a chance. So what would be the hypothetical here? LeBron, at some point at age 19, 19, 21, 22, would have to concede to be a second or even a third banana. Can he take that pride-wise?
Right.
Could he accept that?
If he were even a third banana in his 21st or 22nd year, that's pretty good.
Okay,
like if he was still part of a big.
Is that okay with him? Can he live with that?
Well, that's going to be. But here's the thing. The reason why I went so high, but think about it. Think about the chances of a player going to the NBA. Okay, now.
Okay, I got it. I got you, but think about this. Okay, there are two cases here. Let's say Bronny maxes out and he's a mid-first round draft choice. Well, that would mean some team is thinking, if I take LeBron Jr. at 15, 17, 19, wherever in there, it's a package deal because I could get the last hurrah from his dad and it would be a drawing card, right?
Yeah.
So maybe he would go a little higher just for that.
Right.
Because then LeBron, it couldn't finish in L.A. He would have to go with wherever the kid got drafted. Atlanta or Toronto, I don't know where it'd be, but LeBron would have to go finish his career with his kid there just the way Griffey Sr. went to Seattle, right?
Right.
Okay? The opposite of this would be, let's say Bronny is just pretty good, like LiAngelo or whatever, like the middle son.
Right.
So then what if he didn't get drafted, but again, LeBron is still a Laker, and they say, well, we'll just bring in Bronny as our 12th man or whatever.
You're right.
Okay.
That's actually, because you could just sign him even though he might not play.
And just put him at the end of the bench, and then you could say that they got some minutes
But see,
together.
you know what? We just outlined every possible perfect scenario.
That's true.
Everything
There's a lot that has to go right.
Exactly.
There's a lot that has to go.
But I don't think it's.
But that's what you just let down. That's not 20%.
No, but
Okay, but what you just said, you said it's 1,000,000 to 1 that Bronny will be an NBA player.
No. I'm saying there's 1,000,000 to 1 that they will play on the court at the same time.
I'm going to say this, too, though, about kids, and I guess this will have to play out. But I do think with the scouting being better, with the I mean, all the best kids now, they're not playing on the playground. They're having personal trainers. They're playing AAU. We know the NBA is about to start, getting involved with scouting these kids at a young age, identifying them. I think from this point forward, the best young players, like they're going to probably have a better chance to go to the NBA than years past because scouting wasn't as good, and if a kid was bigger and dominating.
I wish I knew. How tall is Bronny going to end up being?
That has a lot to do with it.
Because he's about 6 feet, 5'10".
Okay.
6 feet, something
How
like
tall is Savannah? Maybe he's 5'6".
5'6".
Yeah, 5'5".
5'5".
5'5", 5'6".
Okay, so LeBron, I'm giving him 6'9". So what are the genetics going to say?
He'll probably be at least 6'4", I would think. Maybe 6'4"-ish.
Could he be a 6'4", 6'5" point guard?
And like you said, if he's shooting it, keeps working on his jump shot, his handle.
Yeah, my thing is not that he'd make it to the NBA. Making it to the NBA while his dad is still playing.
Right. Straight out of high school.
And LeBron has basically said, I don't necessarily have to be on the same team. I just want to be able to say I'm on the same court on a given time. I mean, it just so happened that Griffey Sr. and Jr. were on the exact same team.
You keep making the point. He's listening to Luke and maybe Magic. His minutes are way down.
Yes.
He ranks 19th in the NBA in minutes played after he led the league the last 2 years in minutes played. Okay, that'll work.
Yes.
It's hard to see LeBron, though, like a Vince Carter now.
Yeah.
I don't know that he would do that. Kareem stayed well after his prime, but he was competing for championships.
But remember, Kareem was different. Kareem would get the rebound, throw that thing down, Magic could push it. Come on up here, Cap. We ain't got nothing going on. Hey, where you wanted that? They throw it down to Cap. Cap throw the sky.
And they still winning championships. I don't know where LeBron will be then, but probably not. He won't be a key factor on a championship team, I would think.
And that's the real hard. When you that high, and you used to be, Skip, that's what ran Michael. Michael, like, man, I can't compete. I'm not the same guy. I've been this guy for so long. And we expect LeBron to be that in year 19, 20, 21.
And hopefully, from the outside looking in, Bronny is handling the attention well and the hype. But he's still in 8th grade.
It's a lot
and
to
this
manage
is a lot emotionally,
I agree.
mentally. I mean, your dad's LeBron, so let's just pump the brakes.
I'm gonna win that lottery.
That one.
I'm gonna win the lottery.
We'll see if Shannon. We got a few years to figure that out.
I ain't got no few years. I'm playing tonight and tomorrow.
Good to have you always, Chris. All right, we'll skip Sooners make the college football playoff. He's shaking his head. We'll discuss with Joel Klatt next.
No mercy.
We have one game left in this season for college football, and we have a little drama with the playoff. Alabama, Clemson, and Notre Dame are all undefeated. They're the top 3 teams on the newest rankings. Georgia is 4th right now, but they're a big underdog against Alabama on Saturday. And on the outside looking in are Oklahoma and Ohio State. The Sooners are 5th. They face Texas on Saturday. The Buckeyes are 1 spot behind them. They'll face Northwestern in the Big Ten championship game. We're joined by Joel Klatt. He will call the Big Ten championship game on Saturday.
Can't wait for
Looking
that.
forward to it.
You bet.
So, Joel, if all the favorites win on Saturday, who should make it?
Oh, gosh.
Oh, gosh.
Can I start by saying there's not a good answer?
You can say that.
There really isn't. This
I
is
think
one
that's
of
fair.
This is one of my problems with the playoff at 4, and this is one of my problems with the conversation of expanding it to 8, because the arguments get watered down and less compelling the further down in the rankings that you go. These 2 teams, Ohio State and Oklahoma, are fatally flawed. Both of them. Both of them. OU's defense is right now putrid. When you look at what they've done in the last month, it's some of the worst defense in all of college football. In fact, you take a look at the rankings in November, they're giving up 47 points per game. That's 125th out of 130. 585 yards per game. That's 128th. They're giving up 395 through the air. That's dead last in college football. Like, what are we talking about with OU? And obviously, Ohio State has the really bad loss to Purdue. Their defense had not played very well until all of a sudden at times last week against Michigan. So 2 very fatally flawed programs, which comes down to this then. If they both play exactly how they've been playing all year, I think Oklahoma's resume will be a touch better than Ohio State's, and then they'll go to the playoff.
Great.
Just because they have a better loss in kind of a close game in a neutral site to Texas, and they would have a chance to avenge that loss to Texas in the Big 12 championship.
Okay, Skip. I mean, you lose by 3 to your rival, or you lose by 29 to an unranked team that just became bowl eligible. Now, if you beat Northwestern in the Big Ten championship, guess what? Northwestern lost to Akron. Really? Are we going to be impressed with Ohio State's resume? They gave up 51 to Maryland, who just scored 3 points against Penn State. But you want me to go goo-goo gaga over that? And we keep talking about Oklahoma's defense. You know, Ohio State's not like Alabama. You try to make it seem like they Bama. They're not. Because they gave up 51. They had a 300-yard pass and almost a 300-yard rusher against Maryland.
Yeah.
Everybody, with the exception again, you and Khaki Pants knew Joel knew Michigan was overrated.
Joel knew it. Yeah.
Yeah, I've been trying to tell Joel. Every time I said, Joel, is Khaki Pants. No, he's like, this is different. I said, no, they're not.
It wasn't different.
They one-dimensional.
I should have listened to you.
They're one-dimensional.
Yeah, they were.
And just like I told you earlier, Joel, you know my guy go win the Heisman. Skip OU is going. He don't.
See, your argument is so flawed because if you put OU in the playoffs, then Kyler Murray should run away with the Heisman Trophy. Run away with it. You just disqualified your argument for Tua. You realize that?
That's a good point.
Thank you.
That's a good point.
Case closed. Kyler wins the Heisman. Thank you, Shannon Sharpe. Appreciate that.
Let me tell you why Skip doesn't want OU to go.
Let's see.
Because he knows they'll be the 4th seed, and he don't want him to see Bama.
Yeah,
he don't want to see old St. Nick.
I already told you what would happen. Could Kyler Murray maybe score 40 the way Deshaun did against St. Nick's
Oh,
defense?
you bet. You
he
bet.
Could score 40.
Yeah, there's no doubt.
Tua could score 70 or 80. They could name the score. They could name it before the game started. Do we want to score 65, 70, or maybe 82? Let's score 82 tonight because that's what they could do. Oklahoma has the worst good team defense in the history of college football. They set records on offense, yards per play. It's an all-time record that they set. Kyler Murray is the Heisman Trophy winner because of what they've accomplished in spite of their defense. 47 points a game that they've allowed through the last 5 wins. What? That's almost impossible to do.
It's incredible.
Yeah. So, Shannon,
Yes.
Ohio State is less flawed. They're flawed, but they're less flawed than Oklahoma. And my eye test watching the Michigan game is that Ohio State could give Alabama a little better game than Oklahoma could because Oklahoma couldn't put up any fight on defense. And I believe Ohio State has enough athletes on defense. I saw flashes, even though they gave up 39 and 400 yards, but I saw flashes of being able to at least stand up to Alabama on defense. They have the athletes to stand up. Oklahoma can't rush the passer. They can't cover. They rank 127th out of 130 schools in yards allowed passing.
Yeah.
What? This is it. You're talking about a playoff? They're disqualified. And again, it tears my guts out to say this. I was born and raised into the tradition of Oklahoma football. They took me to my first game when I was 5 years of age. So it's in my blood. I can't help it. And they lost to Notre Dame.
So
It
you get
ended
bad
the
luck.
47 game. I know.
Bad luck.
I know. I got blamed for
Bad
it.
luck, Bayless.
My grandfather drove home. He was furious at me. It's your fault.
Yeah.
That damaged me for the rest of my
Here's
life. That's why I am what I am.
Let me paint a scenario real quickly on Saturday, because I'm going to go back to 2014. Remember, there was a mess going on in the Big 12. Co-champions, TCU and Baylor. Who was the real Big 12 champion? And what did Cardell Jones and the Ohio State Buckeyes do that night?
Yeah.
They went out and beat Wisconsin 59-0. 59-0. So, to your point, if Ohio State can prove that they have fixed some of their flaws, right? We know that they're flawed.
Yes.
You brought it up, and we all know the numbers. Maryland, Anthony McFarland, a freshman running back, goes for 298. It was absurd how that defense played. However, if OU gives up 45 again, like they do, it seems like every game here this last month of the season, and Ohio State were to win, sake of argument, 59-0.
Okay.
I think that the committee might put the Buckeyes in at that point, saying that we've seen a better version of Ohio State. We've seen them reach their potential, and we've seen Oklahoma regress during the course of the season. I think that those people would do that. Here's another interesting fact, and you just got to hear me out on this. This committee is made up of 13 people. People that are directly tied to the schools or have a direct relative, bloodline, that are tied to these schools financially have to recuse themselves from the conversation.
That's interesting.
Gene Smith, the athletic director of Ohio State, is on the committee. Joe Castiglione, the athletic director of Oklahoma, is on the committee. And Frank Beamer, who's on the committee, his son Shane Beamer is an assistant coach for the Oklahoma Sooners. So when they're being directly compared on Sunday night for the 4th spot in the college football playoffs,
Wow.
Three of the 13 people have to recuse themselves from the discussion.
Good.
We're down to 10 people. What are we doing in college football right now? This is crazy.
All you got to do is go ask Coach Saban, who you want in the Alabama invitation.
Let's get his take.
But, Joel, if you don't mind me asking, Joel, I know you follow the Big 12 real close, real close.
Yes.
Can you tell me the defense that's not giving up 40 points in the Big 12?
I can't give you that one.
Kyler Murray's disqualified. Because if every defense is doing exactly what Oklahoma's doing, how impressive.
Now,
Shannon Sharpe,
I will disagree with this because every year in the bowl season, the Big 12 goes out there and their defense plays markedly better than they play in the regular season. These offenses in the Big 12 are different. Defensive coordinators will tell you all about that. What Kyler Murray is doing has never been done before in the history of this sport. He's averaging right now over 300 yards passing and over 70 yards rushing per game. If you take away his fourth quarter stats, just take them away, because that's the argument. Tua doesn't play in the fourth quarter. Take away Kyler Murray's fourth quarter stats, and he is dead even with Tua Tagovailoa. And in fact, his total yardage is much higher because of his ability to run. So I'm just saying, I think that this race for the Heisman, if you also include Dwayne Haskins for what he has done over the course of the year, it's really a three-horse race going into the championship weekend. I don't think that this is set in stone whatsoever.
It's not. It's in the Ten Commandments stone.
No.
Tua got this thing wrapped up.
Wait a second. Kyler, 48 touchdowns, Tua 41. Really? Huh, 48 to 41. Shouldn't that be advantage Kyler?
But hold on. We keep talking about the fourth quarter. Can we put Tua back in some of those games in the third quarter when Jalen Hurts came in? Can we do that?
Sure. No, listen, he's remarkable as well. That's why I wouldn't say it's Kyler Murray's definitely got to be the Heisman Trophy winner. I don't think Dwayne Haskins doesn't. I think that this is an amazing race towards the finish line for the Heisman Trophy. These guys are fantastic players. Dwayne Haskins has put up the greatest passing season in Big Ten Conference history. Tua's doing something that I've never seen at Alabama. He's taken this Alabama team that was a great team and taken them to another level. Kyler is playing better than a Heisman Trophy winner that just won it last year. It's sensational what these guys are doing.
I mean, Baker Mayfield went 43-6. How is 37-7 better than 43-6? Because Baker, I just saw Baker do that.
What Kyler is doing is much different because, one, the defense is much worse, and his ability to run is a much different dynamic than what it was last year.
They gave up 55 to Georgia. So how much worse could it be?
Well, it took 2 overtimes.
They gave it up.
Well, it did.
They gave it up.
Yeah.
And they have a 14-point lead. But
Shannon,
my God,
I'm going to ask you the key question
Please
here.
do.
Which team could give Alabama the better game, Ohio State or Oklahoma? Be honest.
I'm thinking Buffalo or Jacksonville.
Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking. Because if you play college football, you don't want to see St. Nick.
The answer to that question is Ohio State.
Clemson.
You know it, and I know.
Clemson.
And Dwayne Haskins is no chopped liver, like you said.
I think Clemson. I think Clemson is the only team.
You can't answer that question because you know the answer.
Tua.
Maybe Georgia.
Let's
I'm telling you, I got a hunch about Georgia.
Do you?
Really?
Yeah, Alabama has been basically sleepwalking through the first half in each of their last 2 games, tied at 10 with the Citadel at half, 17-14 in the Iron Bowl at half.
Are you
if they do that
predicting
again,
an upset? Or?
I think Georgia's got a great chance.
Joe Klotz says Georgia.
On that note,
got a
we're going to go
would
to break
shake
with
things
that one
up.
because
Just
that
telling you.
could
Alabama will be
change
in the Alabama
everything.
They got a great chance. Don't sleep on the Bulldogs.
Joel,
He's a hater.
Yes,
it's
I'll
going to be a good
there.
weekend. All right, so here's the thing. A few more kids these days are being named Baker in Cleveland. Obviously, I like the
Magic
story.
Man.
We'll explain next.
For real.
No mercy.
And Baker Mayfield has the city of Cleveland in a frenzy. He's coming off a career-high 4 touchdown passes. They've won 2 straight. Browns fans are so excited about their rookie quarterback that they're naming their kids Baker. He even responded to one fan on Twitter saying, quote, "Can't wait to see a picture of the little guy." Shannon, is this a good idea, bad idea by the future parents of Ohio?
This is a terrible idea. This is a dumb idea. And I can assure you this, Skip Bayless. I wish my wife would tell me she gonna name our son after, I tell you what you do. Go ahead and name him. But you better have him come here and pay these bills because I'm up out of here. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do.
Why?
Baker's a great
No, I don't care. I remember my son telling my daddy, I want cornrows like Allen Iverson. I said, well, you better get AI to pay these bills. Because daddy ain't paying no bills. You looking like Allen Iverson. That is so dumb. These trendy names that you name after a player.
Baker's a great name.
I like it.
You could name a.
I'm not asking
Could you name a girl Baker? It'd be okay.
Yeah.
No.
Yes, you could.
This is so ridiculous. Naming your kid after characters on television shows. Game of Thrones, they probably got, man, boy, these people they trying me, Skip. Okay, let's just say, he threw 4 touchdowns. What happened to name my son Baker? What happened if he goes on to be a bust? He'd be terrible. And they ask,
Are you predicting a bust?
Where you get your name from? Oh, my mom named me after. My mom and dad named me after. Ooh, boy.
Are you predicting bust for Baker Mayfield?
Skip.
No. What did I tell you? LeBron leaves, Baker arrives, right? He's on the path to at least goodness, maybe not greatness.
Skip,
I don't know.
So this is what we're going to do after 3 games?
So what have we seen from Baker Mayfield so far? 17 touchdowns?
Smugness.
Nope, 17 touchdowns to 7 interceptions. We have seen Baker Mayfield survive a whole coaching regime change. Head coach and coordinator get fired. It's hard to wade through all that when you're a rookie starting as the #1 overall pick.
I see smugness.
And
I
so
see arrogance.
I saw him beat the Baltimore Ravens. I saw him beat Atlanta. I saw him go to Cincinnati and stick it to Hugh Jackson. That's pretty great. I saw him early do a big number on Thursday night on the Jets, and it was
really, the Jets? So
yep. It was that you get thrown into that fire, and boy, he lit it up. And then I saw him go to Oakland when Oakland was still credible, and he won the football game.
Didn't.
Yes, they did.
No, they did not.
The NFL admitted publicly they blew one of the 2 calls. They actually blew 2 because there was a spot on a 4th down. They made it. The game was over. It was over.
Did not.
You said it was over.
I did not say anything.
Okay? So he should
I'm saying
be,
this is a dumb idea, too, to name the kid Baker.
He should be 5-4 as a starter for a not very good team with all kinds of dissension.
Well, he's on that not-so-good team. There's a reason why they got the first pick in the draft. So we knew they weren't going to be good.
Who's been the best of the rookie quarterbacks? It's easily Baker Mayfield.
I'm glad you differentiated because who's been the best player of the rookies? Who?
I don't know.
Saquon.
Oh, I think Baker's been better than Saquon.
I bet he don't win Roy. I bet he ain't going to be Roy.
Well, he should be.
I don't know what he should.
Yeah.
And they shouldn't be naming their kid. Oh, Lord.
I didn't know this would make you so mad.
I wish at some point in my life, my kids would have said, you know what, I'm gonna name my son Jordan. Or I'm gonna name my son. Boy, Skip Bayless. Ooh. It'll be smoke up in the city, Skip. I'll be, woo. Ain't gonna happen.
Did you name your oldest Shannon?
No.
Okay.
I give them their own identity.
Yeah.
Because all them juniors, every time I look around, juniors be in jail.
Yeah.
That's what my mama told me. My dad wanted a junior.
Really?
My mama said, I wish I might. You gonna get Shannon to go with Sharon Sterling. So we got all S's.
Whoever gets named these kids, they're going to grow up proud of that name.
Yeah, you stop it. Skip,
proud.
Skip, you ought to be ashamed of yourself. Jenny.
What?
Okay, so what?
Okay.
If let's just say for the sake of you and Matt, y'all have a daughter, and he wants to name her Olivia after Olivia Munn or Olivia Wilde, you going for that?
That's not bad.
Yeah, I bet you're not going for it.
I mean, the ultimate decision is going to be mine.
Exactly. Exactly.
What about Super Bowl babies? That happens all the time. We're in Philly, we had all these Carsons and Nicks, and I mean, that's common. This isn't a bad thing.
Yeah, it is a bad thing.
There are Carsons in Philadelphia?
There are a lot.
That's a bad idea.
I saw a big story that
That's a bad idea. They're already regretting that this year.
They say we got a little baby walking to him. Little baby walking to him, little baby. He take a little baby step, baby step.
And the baby's saying, I'm Carson Wentz.
No, he's not.
Wentz?
That's a dumb idea. Rethink it. Dad, don't let mama do this to these kids. Don't let them do it, Skip. But you ought to be ashamed of yourself.
I love that name. I think it's really a cool name. Baker Mayfield's a cool name.
It is.
But Baker is.
They should have been. Now they want to do the LeBrons. Okay, I get all that.
Yeah. Heck, if I'd had a son, I would have gone with Baker Bayless. That's a great name.
It is a good name.
Right? Got a little ring to it.
You know what, Skip, baby.
No.
you ought to be ashamed of yourself, Skip. And Jen, I can't believe you know good well.
What?
You gonna let? Oh, that is a cute name, but you're not gonna let him name her. Oh, you're not gonna name my daughter after some chick on TV.
Yep.
I know. And you already. Oh, guess what she gonna say, Skip? Mom, Mary, she gonna call mom. Can you believe this Emma Effort tried to name my daughter after?
She's gonna say that?
I don't do that anymore. Okay, another name that Skip would like future parents to avoid.
Oh, Kawhi.
Kawhi. We're gonna go with
I like Kawhi.
number
I don't
2.
speak that name.
I like Kawhi.
We've got more to tell you about that next.
No mercy.
Time for our final topic of the day. Tomorrow night, the Raptors are hosting the Warriors. Toronto is leading the East, while the defending champs have the second best record in the West. And earlier this week, Klay Thompson said it's going to be a great test and added that it might be a preview of the NBA Finals. Shannon, do you agree with Klay?
Might be, but he said the same thing on media day about the Celtics. Oh, they're gonna be. So what? Guess what? When he played the Bucks already beat them. They'll play the Bucks again in about a month or two. Might be a preview of the finals. But hey, here's what's going unnoticed, Skip. He keep naming all these teams that they might meet out of the Eastern Conference. What's the conference that dominated in the Western Conference? Oh, us. We gonna be there. That one whole season. Don't let that go.
You think LeBron's team's going to be?
I didn't say that. See, Skip.
Oh,
that mercy. This joker here rules
no
the conversation.
faith.
Hey, Skip, you know. I am surprised that Toronto has played as well as they have. They have the best record, 18-4 in the NBA.
Yep.
I'm surprised that it has meshed as well as it has so early. And considering the Celtics, with the exception of Gordon Hayward being in, I thought they'd bring Gordon Hayward off the bench. But I'm surprised it's taken as long as it has to reblend the Celtics. But no.
So it's not a back-to-back tomorrow night for Toronto, so I guess number 2 is actually going to try to play, unless he doesn't feel like playing, like the night at the Lakers back on November 4th. That wasn't a back-to-back, and number 2 said, you know what, I just don't feel like playing, and Toronto won without him, because Toronto's really good even without him. And last night I watched the whole game at Memphis, because it was a good game.
Came back from 17.
Yeah, they came from 17 down, and number 2 didn't do much in the fourth quarter, but Van Vliet and Lowry just took the game over, raining threes.
What about the first 3 quarters? What did he do, Skip? What old Claw do? He had that hair freshly braided. Old Claw was doing that thing.
Yeah, but tomorrow night, national TV, he'll probably say, I don't need to risk this. I don't feel like it. I don't feel like it.
Put some do they beat.
Have to wait and see.
No mercy. Thanks for listening to the Undisputed podcast. I'm Jenny Taft. Join us again at the same time tomorrow morning, 9:30 Eastern. We'll see you then.
Fox Sports, one of one.